Hello, everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. I'm stuck in my chair. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus Young Boys in the Champions League. We're back, and team news is about to come out, of course. But more importantly, we're back in the Champions League. I'm sure people are getting very excited about what the team is going to be today. I'm certainly excited as well. But Champions League football back. I'm not even bothered that it's a 5:45 game. No problem at all. As long as it's not on a Thursday and as long as the tournament doesn't begin with an E, Europa, I'm happy. So it's Champions League football. The reason we're a little bit early is, I'm actually saying C now. I'm just doing it deep. I sound like, but the reason we're doing it a little bit early is because I don't know what time. This is a nice reason to be early. I don't know what time the team news comes out. So, yeah, that's basically why at the moment I'm saying that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with the team news. And I'm sure I think it might be coming out in the next minute. I think it comes out an hour and a quarter before. So we will wait and see. But let's wait and see with that one. As you can see, Boohoo Man, I'm wearing some of their stuff again, the active wear range, and as you can see, we're sponsored by Boohoo Man Active today. If you've not already seen, then you need to check out Boohoo Man's brand new active range, which is what I wear a lot. It's great if you're at the gym meeting friends for a game of football, or just need some nice new kit for when you're walking the dog. I wore one of my tops today taking Seb to school, and people said, "Oh, that looks good." As always, Boohoo Man have provided us with some facts. This time they're on about our opponents, BSC Young Boys, who, yes, have a silly name, but actually are no joke on the pitch. They're Champions League regulars. So here we go. BSC Young Boys have won 15 Swiss League Championships and 6 Swiss Cups. The club was founded in 1897 by students of the University of Bern. The club they founded was originally called Basel Old Boys. However, when founding members of Basel Old Boys left to start a new club, they decided they would call it BSC Young Boys to differentiate themselves from the old boys. So the young boys became the old boys became the young boys. It's like Benjamin Button. BSC Young Boys' original stadium was hilariously called the Wankdorf Stadium, not Wank Off, the Wankdorf Stadium. Thankfully, this was demolished in 2001 and replaced by the Stade de Suez. And finally, BSC Young Boys don't just keep active with football. The club's sports also include field hockey and bowling. There you go. Thanks to Boohoo Man for these fascinating insights. And as always, Boohoo Man have given United Stand viewers an amazing 40% discount that you can use by clicking the link in the video description and using the code United Stand at checkout. Thanks very much to Boohoo Man for providing the facts. Now let's get on with the show. 90% off, 90% off. They'll kill me for that. 40% off. Links in the video description as always. And big shout out to Boohoo Man for that. So the team news is out. Let's have a look what it is. I'm getting a lot of Lindelof chat here. Here it is. So it's De Gea, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno, Fred, Van der Beek, Pogba, Sancho. Why am I reading this completely wrong? So Lindelof and Maguire at centre back. God, it's always great when you're reacting live. I'm still puzzled by the return of Magaluf. Lindelof and Maguire, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. We've got Bruno, Fred, and Pogba. Oh, Pogba is playing. Okay. So no, Lingard doesn't start. Does that mean? Hopefully, that means Pogba's playing off the left, and Donny's playing at number 8. Pardon, mate. Yeah, hopefully Van der Beek's number 8. Okay. And then we've got Sancho and Ronaldo. I mean, it's a good team. I just don't think that Varane should be dropped, really. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm very happy that Donny starts. Varane on the bench. Get that out. So what are your thoughts, chat? If you want to do a super chat, you can do that through the $ as always. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support of the channel. But what are your thoughts in the chat? I think the main thing is Donny van der Beek starts. And we're going to update the lineup in a moment. That is not the lineup on the team, but we'll update that in a moment. But the team is David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw is fullbacks, the return of Lindelof. Fair play to everybody last night if you predicted that. What did I say it would be? If Lindelof started tonight? I said it would be Sympathetic. I don't think there was any reason to pick Lindelof tonight. You can't argue with it. Well, you can. That's what football opinion is all about. But I don't think he should be starting tonight, if I'm absolutely honest. But he is. The most important thing is Donny starts, Ronaldo starting, Pogba, Bruno and Donny on the same team almost compensates for the fact that Fred's playing. But Varane getting a rest. As a United and FC Zurich fan, I hope United smash young boys. They destroyed my team at the weekend. Lindelof and Fred, my God, why, says DK. And Van der Beek should be at number 6. As you mentioned, he can play at that. Can be a start of something new, says Chinmay. Well, I hope it is Van der Beek in that position. I really do hope it is Van der Beek in that position. Why pick Lindelof? I mean, if you're going to pick a centre-back, why not pick Bailly? Ollie's in love with Lindelof. He bloody loves Lindelof. We all know that. I can't. I mean, so there's the updated lineup on the screen. Lindelof had to start or he was gone. Where was he going to go, Robert McCormack? Off on his bloody holidays. Oh, if I don't start against young boys, I'm off to Butlins for 2 weeks. You can come and fetch me. I'll be pissed up in the bar. No, I don't know. I'm not really bothered. Not massively bothered. I do think that resting Raphael, I've got to say, there has to be a bit of a knock with Varane. You don't rest Varane. He's our best centre-back. You don't rest Varane for Lindelof. I mean, that's a little bit weird, but there might be an explanation for it. That's all I'm going to say. The more I think about it, you don't rest. You don't bloody... If you're going to rest anybody, rest Harry Maguire. Like, Varane's the better player, but, Lindelof's in good form. Excited to watch Van der Beek. It's my first super chat ever, says Anchor. And I think that's the most important thing to focus on. Hopefully, that's right. Hopefully, Paul Pogba is going to play off the left. Hopefully, Van der Beek will play in the sort of number 8-6 role with Bruno ahead of him. I think this is exciting to watch him, as Anchor said, because I think this is the only way he works his way back into the team. I think Lindelof was brought on, keeping in mind a refreshment for Varane, as he's had to go on full two games in a row in the Premier League for the first time. Ow! My head's hurting. Ow! Varane needs a rest because he's played 2 Premier League games in a row, separated by 2 weeks international break, and he's one of the best players in the bloody world. Doesn't need a What do we think the Premier League is? The Krypton factor? It's a bloody football team. He's won multiple Champions Leagues. He doesn't need a bloody rest because he's played against Wolves and Newcastle. Come on. Unless he's carrying a knock. Got a feel for Dalot. I actually expected Dalot to play, actually, Andre, and I think it would have been a good game for him to play. Ollie knows starting him would expose his right-back shortcomings. Should have left to Dortmund, says Andre. No, I'm not having that. I'm not having this Wan-Bissaka shit, so whatever. I love Lindelof and McTominay, and Mark hates both. I love you, Mark, but leave my favourite players alone. You will get blocked, mate. I don't care whether you do super chats or not. You will get blocked. I'm giving you a warning right here, right now. I will not have my name associated with hate against players. I don't hate any individual, so I certainly don't hate a Manchester United player. Grow up and learn to type a more mature word. How can Ollie drop Champions League Varane? Really excited about Donny playing, but I hope Donny is in the midfield, says Gabe. I mean, he could be playing off the left. He might play Pogba with... I think that's going to be very interesting. What are your thoughts on that? He could play Pogba in the midfield because that's where Pogba's going to be playing, and put Donny off the left because it's like, sympathy minutes, isn't it? His nickname is Champions League Varane for a reason. He's supposed to start, says Lucas. Problem is now we need a back 6 to bubble wrap these 2 Muppets at centre-back. Not that Maguire is, but something happens to him when he's with Lindelof, and I don't know if Donny is up to it, says Marcus Lard. And Pisco says Varane was bought to make Lindelof better, like Tellez. And really excited to see Donny playing in the 8, but annoyed that Varane ain't starting. Also excited for Bruno, Donny, Paul and Jaden play together. First super chat, says JJ. We've got a few people doing first-time super chats. That means they're excited. Thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $ if you want. Remember when our options were Igalo, Pereira and Rojo. Squad has improved massively. Bruno to score a free kick tonight. I'm calling it now, says Jake. And it's a good team. It's a European team. All ball playing tiki-taka midfielders and attackers. Young boys are the only team where you can play Lindelof. Maguire is captain. He won't be rested, says Addy. What a good comment that is. Vieira performance incoming from our number 27, says Sultan. And it can be as simple as squad rotation. Lindelof is quality and a senior player. Would rather Varane start, but let Ollie use the squad, says Sean Thomas. Look, you know what? I don't agree with it, but that's justice for Martial, says Ewan Black. And this is what I mean. I don't agree with it, but I do not have any major moaning issues about it. Extremely happy Donny is playing. I think this calls for a celebration, Mark. Nova, the point is, Ollie's done exactly what I would have said he needed to do. Not go mad and make 5 or 6 changes. For me, how many changes has he made from the team at the weekend? Lindelof is 1, Donny is 2, Fred is 3, and that's it. You know, from the starting lineup, he's made 3 changes. There's positional changes maybe, but Fred, Donny and Lindelof, he's right. I wouldn't have made any more than 3 changes because it is a Champions League game. To be honest, I'm surprised Lingard didn't start, and I'm surprised Delo didn't start. And, you know, maybe Martial could have started. But he's obviously done what Ollie does. He's penciled Lindelof in, hasn't he? And I think what he's trying to do with Lindelof, and I think we're going to see a lot of this season quite clearly, and I'll mention this in the match reaction as well. Lindelof, he's trying to get him game time, isn't he? He's trying to get Lindelof game time so that it's like, you know, you're part of my plans, don't leave. So he's obviously going to try and get Lindelof game time. But, you know, it can't be Varane that misses out for Lindelof every time. This is the first time it's happened, so we can't really, we've got no evidence yet. But we know that Maguire likes to play every game. You can't put your best centre-back on the bench to give Lindelof time just because Harry's your captain. He's going to have to share that. If he wants to give Lindelof game time, it can't just always be Varane, is what I'd say. So let's wait and see. Thought of a new chant for Donny. That is the It's Sunny advert, but ooh, it's Donny. MSS. Okay. Don't know the song. We could possibly see the diamond in midfield again, says Marquise Johnson. And gutted Delo isn't given a chance. Like to see him challenge Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the right back spot. It's massively up for grabs. Disagree, Ben Anderson. What does Donny need to do this game to win his spot as a regular? We'll come back to that, Francisco. And remember, we play an artificial today. Not all players like it, and you're more injury prone. Ollie said on Norwegian television that he should take into account the players' wishes to play on such a service as Halvard. And Fred, better give Donny a good game or I'm coming for him. Don't give Ollie a reason to feel justified. Also, I wish Dolo should have started, says Z. And after what happened to Bruno at the end of last season, squad rotation is a must-have. We have to trust the bench more than just Ollie's same 13 guys, says Randall. Yeah, and I've got no problem with what Ollie's done tonight. I don't. I would have probably started Delo over Wan-Bissaka just to give Delo a bit of game time. Of course, I probably would have done that. But I think that the big question here is, where do you think Donny's going to play? Also, first super chat. So glad to see Donny and Fred together. I have a feeling that they could potentially gel well. Keep up the good work, says the football guru. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in. You can do that through the $sign. Thanks very much for supporting the channel. The lineup is out. I'm sure we can get it on the screen for you. But the reality is, we don't know where Donny's going to play. We don't know where Donny's going to play. There is a chance that Pogba could play in the midfield. And what I'm saying there is that, is it not a good idea for Pogba and Fred to learn to play together than to stick Pogba back on the left when we know Rashford's going to be back soon? We know Greenwood, you know, you've got Lingard and everybody else. It's really important. Can we go to the lineup screen, please? Jorty? Cheers, mate. There's a lot of people asking. I'm not saying Lindelof is better than Varane at all, but I do think people in England underrate him for some reason. Most of all, he has a hell of a pass. David, people in England don't underrate Lindelof at all. He's got a good pass on him, but he can't win a header. He's slow and he's not very physical. We've had a whole season to see what Lindelof's all about. He's not underrated. He's not fit to lace Varane's boots. If we had nobody else, people would still want Eric Bailly. There's nothing wrong with Lindelof as a squad player, but he, in no shape or form should he be anywhere near a best 11, and I don't think he will be. I don't know why Varane is dropped, but I'm optimistic in a Ronaldo hat-trick, says Firaz. Win or lose, I want to see Ronnie going off at Fred, says Lucas. And Victor the Vacuum and Harry the Hoover is back. We'll be fine, Harakesh. It's not the sort of game where we need to worry about that. Why doesn't Ollie rest Bruno and play Pogba in the Bruno role and play Donny in the Pogba role, says Mohammed. Well, it's going to be very interesting. Will Donny play in the midfield or will he play off the left? Now, at the moment, we've got him off the left. A lot of people in the chat are saying put Pogba on the left. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's there to be pondered, isn't it? I don't think anybody actually knows. And you could say One Football is saying this. You could say MUT, that Man United app saying that. But the reality is, I'll tell you for a fact, nobody knows. And if he's playing off the left, there's no future for Donny. If he's playing at number 8, he might have a future. And that's the first step is to start. The second step is to start in a position you might be able to win a place in the team. And I mean, some would say hopefully he's playing off the left like Pogba did, and he can make a lot of impact, get a few assists, because assists are more, imagine Donny plays off the left, he gets 2 assists for Ronaldo. People are going, oh, he's got to play. But he's also playing in a position that's very hard to get a place in the team because of people like Rashford and Martial and Lingard and everybody else who can play on the wing. But if he plays next to Fred and plays better than Fred, then I think there's more of a way into the team. So the pathway into the team for me is the 6 or the 8 position, and I think he'll be playing in one of those, hopefully. But Ollie might be like, I'm not putting Pogba back on the left wing because he's not going to play there long term because I've got Rashford coming back. So I'm going to keep Pogba and Fred learning together. And Donny, you're just going to get a few minutes on the left. You'll be back on the bench at the weekend. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that builds out. Over the Moon by Log de Beek finally starting. Should have liked to see Delo. Love our Spider, but would like to see where Delo is playing wise to Zaluso. I'm a little bit surprised. I predicted that Delo would start, and I am a little bit surprised by that. But, he's decided that Varane is the one who misses out. And poor old Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got to go and bloody hold hands with Lindelof on crosses again now. Be interested. Keep an eye on that. If Wan-Bissaka's tucking in for crosses again, because he hasn't been with Varane. How do you think Sancho played Saturday amid press saying he was awful? I thought he carried the ball and Bay's just a banter player, says Jordan Wright. I said at this, remember you can do your player ratings in the second half, and we'll do that on the match reaction. But I thought Sancho played well, and I'm very excited to see Sancho playing on the right. I mean, look, we've not even spoken about Jadon Sancho yet. This is his area. Champions League football, he knows all about it. He's played more Champions League football in the last 3 years than United have, and he'll be up for this. And another development game. Would have loved to see Lindelof and Varane. Maguire has played a lot. It wouldn't hurt to drop in one game and put the armband on Cristiano, says Luke Marshall. Welcome to the Members Club, Mark Friedman. If you want to become a member and get a little badge next to your name in the chat, you can click the join button. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Unhappy with Varane, but Ollie deserves the chance to show why I hate to admit it. But Ollie's win rate should speak for itself. Interesting to see if Victor makes the knockouts. Predictions on how far we go, says Edward Walters. I do think that if Retro says it's confirmed that Donny's playing at number 8. I don't know where that's been confirmed. We'll certainly have a look. But I actually do think that if he had started with if Henderson had been fit, I think Henderson would be in goal. I think that the Lindelof selection is fine. I'm not going to lose my crap over it, but I do think that the Lindelof selection is very much like Henderson. It's about keeping people happy and penciling them in, and I think that's what Ollie's done with Lindelof. But to be fair, is it not the same that it would be doing with Delo over Wan-Bissaka? So I don't think we can moan too much about Lindelof starting. I mean, it's a bit disappointing that Varane's not playing, because I would like to see Varane play. I think he was brilliant at the weekend. I don't think he needs the rest, but maybe he's got a knock. But Lindelof playing is only like Delo playing. It's like Van der Beek playing. You're giving somebody some game time who Ollie obviously does value. But it's fantastic to see Donny playing. Absolutely fantastic. And I really, really hope he can take the opportunity. You can't really knock Ollie. You can for the past, but the present is the now, and he's got to go. He's got to do it. I hope he's going to be playing in the number 8 position. I really, really do. But as I said, I think Ollie's wife must be super jealous of his obsession with Fred and Lindelof, says Karan. I hope Martial gets more than 10 minutes, says Riven. And we need to change tactics to keep Aaron Wan-Bissaka back so that Pogba and Van der Beek can get forward into the final third. Sancho can stay wide and create, says Noah. Do you reckon Ronaldo's arrival will make it easier for Sancho to get going, as in there will be less pressure on him, says David? Yeah, we've said about that before, David. I think you're right. Is it me, or does this team selection not have pace? What happens on a counter-attack? Love from Toronto, says Godflow. Yeah, we're probably going to be playing against the low block a lot, though, aren't we? I don't think we need pace. And anyway, Ronaldo's fast. I think people think because he's 36, he's slow. He's still fast. Watching the Conference League, I can't believe any Premier League teams will be playing in this competition. No disrespect, says Mark Friedman. When is the Conference League? I don't even know when they play their games. I hope Martial gets more than 10 minutes. Welcome to the Members Club, Pep. And their striker is 6'3", strong and fast. This could be a long night for Victor, says Mark Dobby. I'm not going to pretend to think that I know anything about this side that we're playing tonight. And if they are going to give us a bit of a test, then we'll have to just wait and see. But no, I do think Jadon Sancho is a very, very important player in this game, because I think that you look at that front. I like that team. I do like that team. I mean, look, Lindelof and Maguire should not be having nightmares like they did last year against any team anymore. I think with that midfield three, I love the idea of Sancho. I mean, I don't know why we're not talking about this enough. If this goes to plan, you've got Van der Beek, Bruno, Pogba, and Sancho in the same attacking area. I mean, that is an opportunity to create and play fast tempo football if I've ever seen one. Pogba, Van der Beek, Sancho, and Bruno. If I'd said to you those four players 18 months ago, you would have gone the smile on your face would let me know that you love me, as Ronan Keating once sung, and Garth Brooks. It would, because that would be Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, and Sancho on the same team. The opportunities to play give and go football. We should be creating chances today. I'm actually nervous that it doesn't work. I'm so desperate for it to work because I think those four players are our best attacking creative players. Ronaldo's a finisher, Greenwood's an attacking forward, Rashford's an attacking forward. These are the best four ballers we've got. And I just hope that against a team like this, I think we've got to go and create a lot of chances. I can see Lindelof conceding tonight and Ronaldo scoring 1 or 2 goals, says Michael Breaz. And also, was I the only one that saw that Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka tucked in our last game? How come I see things in the game that nobody sees just because it's Varane, says Frederick Larson. I didn't see it, Frederick. I didn't see it at all. I mean, a fullback's going to tuck in if the ball's on the other side of the pitch. They're not going to go and stand on the throwing line. You know, you do have to come into your box. But what we saw last season with Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof was bloody ridiculous. It was like holding hands and leaving the player on the back post. So Donny 8 confirmed. Why is Varane not starting? And thank you for the super chat there from Justin Chow. Ultimately, what are your thoughts on the game? I'm very, very excited. Frederick Fieldvet has Donny playing off the left, by the way. I've had a message there. Frederick has him on the left and he's usually right. That either means he normally plays on the right or Frederick's normally right. I'm pissing with you. That means he's normally right. So, yeah, I think that he probably will. I don't know. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So we have got stats on the screen for the match, but we also have individual stats. So we're going to do Donny Watch today. So we will be doing that throughout the game, letting you know how he's doing with stats. We're going to do more and more of those during the season anyway, where we can throw up just individual stats of any player during the game. But for these early days, we're just going to be doing it on Donny. Ronaldo's top speed on Saturday was 34 kilometers per hour, says Rahul. And will Donny only get 60 minutes? Hope he gets more minutes, says S. Ahmed. I think that's a very good point by S. Ahmed as well. I do think that there will be substitutions. Mark, when we turned up against Newcastle and won 4-1 last season, Van der Beek, Pogba and Bruno played, and it showed us what they need to play, says Vassaro. Well, I think Mata was on the pitch for that one as well. I mean, I'm so excited to see the game with the immense creativity and technical ability of our front five. Feels like a Ronaldo hat-trick, says Thomas Midford. This is what we'll be showing you for Donny throughout the game. So get excited about that. I would like to have seen Delo in this game, though, says Remy. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Great work again by Drawty again, says Dougie. Yeah, fantastic graphics we're bringing you this season, especially in and around match days and press conferences, etc. I think that if they develop Donny as a 6 and let me get comfortable there, he could let me get comfortable. Dimitri wants a game now. Bloody hell, Dimitri. We've only just got bloody Donny a game after a year. Never going to get you a game. He could be great. And Mark, would you rather lose all your memories or never be able to make new ones? It's for one of my classes and I need opinions from people. Well, Robble, right in the middle of a chat, super chat. Would you rather lose all your memories or never be able to make new ones? That's a weird question. That's too deep for a bloody Champions League game against young boys. I think that I wouldn't want to lose my memories, so I'll probably be happy not to make new ones. Yeah, I think that if they develop Donny as a 6 and I've done that one. Mark, where do you think Man United will finish this season in the Champions League? Says Stephen Nahaza. I've said Champions League quarterfinalists is a minimum. We might pick up. You could draw the winners in the quarterfinal and lose. It depends. I'd like to see us get into the semi-finals, really, and then anything can happen. Cheers from Alaska. How many goals do you think Ronaldo will have this season in the league? Also, do you believe our team is more creative than Juve? it's all about that question, AG. I can't give you the answer. It depends how creative we are. Why is Ollie playing Lindelof? Shouldn't Maguire and Varane be given the time to gel, says Jimmy? I would have thought so, but it's rotation, I suppose. You can't knock it. Swap Varane for Lindelof and McTominay for Fred, and then we have one of the best lineups to dominate midfield against big teams. Abhishek, I disagree. I've got to say I disagree. And that's the whole point of opinion, isn't it? You can't just... I can't just blindly agree with people. I think Varane for Lindelof is obviously a good idea. Of course it is. But I also think that, as I said last week, I'm going to be consistent. I don't know why people are talking about McTominay as a holding midfielder. I just don't believe that's his best position. So I can't sit here and say, yeah, let's swap. As I said last week, it feels to me like people, just because they've had enough of Fred and they think Matic is too old, they've now decided that Scott McTominay is a holding midfielder, and I don't necessarily think that is true. I don't. So I'm not going to agree with you on that one. I do agree with you on Varane. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're on the road to 132,000 today. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the channel. You're very, very welcome. And very excited about this game as well. What if Donny plays 6 and Fred as an 8, says Joel? No, it won't happen. I mean, it could. It won't happen. It won't happen. It won't happen. Let's call a spade a spade. It won't happen. He'll either be playing off the left or he'll be playing on the... The rumour is he's going to be playing off the left, by the way. Can I just say, the rumour is that Van der Beek's playing off the left and Pogba will play centrally, which, to be honest with you, it actually does make a lot of sense, because if Ollie is trying to build a partnership, it's going to be Fred and Pogba, isn't it? Who's going to play at the weekend? Is it going to... And this is where I suppose it's coming from, isn't it? If you think about it, we're playing West Ham at the weekend. Do you want your midfield to get a bit of chemistry going, Fred and Pogba? So it'd be very interesting who he plays in the midfield. But I think if Donny plays off the left, I think it's a harder job for him to get in the team off the left, because as well as I do that Scott McTominay is going to walk straight back. It's not Scott McTominay. Well, Scott McTominay probably will walk back into that team, but as well as I do that Marcus Rashford's going to play, isn't he? Mason Greenwood's going to come back. I mean, we've not even mentioned the fact that Greenwood's not playing. I didn't expect Greenwood to play today. I actually think it's a good idea not to play Greenwood today. He's 19 years of age, and I think Mason Greenwood doesn't need to play this game today. And also it gives Jadon Sancho a chance to play off the right, which, if you remember the show on Sunday, that was something that Adam was actually absolutely adamant. He was adamant, He was adamant. Prince Charming. But he was adamant that Sancho should be playing off the right. I thought Sancho had a good game on the weekend. I know that not everyone agrees with that, but I did think he had a good game. And I think that he, it's going to be very interesting. But I don't think there's a way. I don't think there's a way for Pogba to play off the left long term, and therefore I think he might be playing in the centre and with Donny on the left. We've got to keep remembering that Donny van der Beek is a player that's not being given much game time by this manager. And would it make sense for him to play him in the midfield where he could win his place? Do not want to see fans criticise Donny if he has an average game. If he gets a run of 2 or 3 games, he will come good, says Sumya. I agree with that. I think that's a very intelligent point as well. I think that, I do. I think that's a great point. I think Donny does need lots and lots of games. It's almost like people will now expect him to hit the ground running, and it's very difficult to do that. So, but on the other hand, I've got to say, if he's going to get anywhere, he's going to have to grab the opportunity. His agent said it. He said it himself. The opportunity he gets is today. He won't be starting against West Ham. I don't think he'll start against West Ham. He'd have to, he's just got to grab the opportunity. Mark, do you want to come to the Blues next home game? Free ticket and can watch Chong. Really impressive so far, says Stuart Bates. Thanks for the offer. Van der Beek is playing today because McSauce is out and fit. Let's get into our minds. Ollie doesn't rate Van der Beek, says Aditya. Well, I just sort of disagree with that, Aditya. I think it depends on where Donny starts. If he's playing off the left, then McTominay wouldn't have started because McTominay wouldn't play off the left. If he's playing in the midfield, then you might have a chance. I hope he is playing in the midfield. Off topic, your first one to say Ronnie will be back home at the start of the window. Living my childhood memories again. Love the show from USA, says Neil Lockwood. I tell you what, I wish somebody would find this clip where I said that Ronaldo will come back home at the start of the window, because I don't remember saying it. And if I did, fair play. But a few people have said that to me now. Love Ollie, but he needs to utilise his squad better. Hope he does not repetitively pick players like Bruno, Pogba, Wan-Bissaka. It just burns them out, says Vicky. But Vicky, I've got to say, thank you for the super chat. But just to defend Ollie here, we were speaking about this last night. I agree with what he's done with the team. Not necessarily the personnel, but I do agree that 3 changes max from Saturday was right. Rotation for me is not volume; it's regularity. And what I mean by that is, I'd rather Ollie rotated 2 or 3 players every game or every other game than changed 5 or 6 players, every other game, because that's too much. You want to build chemistry, you want to build a rhythm. I think if he'd brought imagine if on top of Van der Beek and Lindelof and Fred coming into the team, Lingard also started and Dalot started. That's 5. That's half your team being changed. I'm happy with the 3 changes. I don't want any more than 3 changes, and that is rotation for me. And if he does that, if he's true to his word that he trusts his squad of 18, about 18 players, then we should be in a situation whereby we are playing West Ham in a way, and maybe Martial starts. Do you think Ollie will play Tellez? I think he will when he's fit, JRD, yes. Ollie has just brought someone to Switzerland whose nickname is Champions League Varane, just to bench him for Lindelof. Balls of steel, that man has, says Lucas. But I think the Lindelof thing is causing people a lot of problems, which I sort of do understand. But on the end of the day, it is... Pardon? Okay. But it is rotation. It is rotation. If McTominay didn't get that injury and surgery, Ollie would have let him go on loan at Everton, says Spencer. Should be enough creativity for Ronaldo on top with Sancho, Pogba, Bruno, Donny and Shaw. Let's hope the graveyard shift is gone, says Cinder. And Mark, there's too much Donny kissing in the channel. He is not that special, says Filmo. Sit him down, Donny. Sit him down. Okay, apparently got Levin coming on the show. Levin, are you there?
Yes, hello. Can the people hear me? Mr. Loba.
With a voice like that, I'm pretty sure they can.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling good, Mark. I'm feeling good. The lineup looks good. It wasn't really what I was expecting, but at the same time, I'm not upset with it. I know people upset about Lindelof, starting Varane. Oh my God, Varane was so brilliant on the weekend, which is true. Look, is it bad? I don't really care. Like I don't know. That sounds bad in a way, but I'm actually not too bothered. Like, yes, Varane was brilliant. He was our best defender. He was immense for us over the weekend, and I'd much rather, if he's going to rotate one of the centre-backs to give Lindelof games, I'd much rather it be Maguire. But I'm not looking at, I'm not looking at young boys going, oh, bloody hell, if it's not Varane, we've lost, Lindelof forgot there. Hopefully he'll do a job, because he rarely gets any opportunities, and I think, he'll be thinking that in the back of my mind, look, I've got to play well. But other than that, the lineup looks good to me. I'm happy. Look, Mark, I'll tell you, this is what I was thinking when I saw it. If I had told you start of last season there would be a game where we don't play Greenwood, Rashford or Martial and we're perfectly fine, would you believe me? I would have believed you.
It's the sheer volume of the quality of players we've got, haven't we? And this is why, for me, yeah, the Lindelof thing it's something, but I wouldn't say it's disappointing when you put it into the context of the fact that you've got Bruno, Pogba, Sancho and Van der Beek all on the same team with Ronaldo. It's like, that's fantasy talk. And like you say, there's no Martial, there's no Rashford, there's no Greenwood, and we're fine. And that just shows you the quality of players that we've got in the team. And look, Lindelof, Ollie likes Lindelof. If people want an explanation, I don't know what yours is, Levin, but mine is that Ollie loves Lindelof and he's penciled him in. He's like, I'm going to get you some game time. And look, I don't think many people would have rested Varane for this game, but Ollie's obviously wants to keep Lindelof happy, and he's like, it's young boys. I can give him a game.
Yeah, I don't have any, I don't have any like cool tactical reason why he might be playing it. Like, no, I don't have anything. I genuinely don't have anything. Look. He, like you said, he clearly likes Lindelof. I think Lindelof, from everything we see, he seems to have a good attitude. And, managers like these kind of things. So, yeah, I think he just wants to keep Lindelof happy. And this is, where else is he going to give Lindelof games that isn't egregious, right? It's not many places. So, yeah.
Yeah. Van der Beek starting. This is the really big thing. Where do you think Van der Beek's going to start? Because we're sort of hearing that he might be playing off the left. A lot of people in the chat are saying no. A lot of people are going to say that Pogba's playing off the left. But I was saying, I don't know until we kick off, but I was saying, does it make sense to put Pogba back on the left when you know that's not where he's going to be playing long term? When you know Pogba's going to be playing in the midfield against West Ham, it probably makes more sense to play Pogba with Fred to build up a bit of chemistry because they were so bad together against, was it Wolves? I think it's more likely we see Donny off the left, although I'd rather see him in the middle because I think, as we've said before, that's his way into the team. He's not going to get in on the left hand side.
Yeah, we obviously don't know, but it wouldn't make sense to me for you to play Pogba out wide left because, like you said, long term he's going to be playing in the midfield with either Fred or Matic. I think there's definitely things to work on from Saturday's game, although things weren't bad. I think there's different areas of the pitch where maybe there were more pressing issues, but you just don't know with Ollie, man. You never know with Ollie. I think either way, I'm not too bothered in terms of if we're just looking at this young boys game. I'm not too fussed about whether Donny plays left or he plays as an 8. But long time, yeah, it wouldn't really make sense to me. So it'll be interesting to see what Ollie does there. If he does play Van der Beek out left, though, like you said, there's no future for him there. So are you frustrated about it? Because I personally wouldn't be too frustrated about that, but I think there probably would be people who wouldn't like that.
I mean, for me, I'm just happy he's starting. I mean, there was a big part of me. I did start to get a feeling that he was going to start the game, but I've got to be honest, I would not have been shocked like anybody if he hadn't started. I just think he's got to grab the opportunity. If he's off the left and he gets a couple of assists, well, it only elongates the fans' point that this is a player that, why did we buy him? He's a good player, but you don't use him. And if he plays off the left and he plays badly, then, it's a harder argument to have. So I just think he's got to grab the opportunity. It's a very rare thing that Donny van der Beek starts for Manchester United, and he's been here, over a year now. So he's got to grab that opportunity wherever it is. I mean, look, I'd love to have seen him playing at 8. Maybe I'd love to have seen him playing at 6. But the reality is, Fred will be playing at 6 and Pogba will probably be playing at 8. But he's just got to grab the opportunity. It's the same what I'm saying about Sancho as well. Nobody really talks about Sancho, but Sancho off the right as well.
Are we certain Sancho's playing off the right? Because I was literally about to say, what if he's not playing off the right? Or if he's playing off the left and Van der Beek's on the right or something like that?
Well, yeah, it could be. Could definitely be that. But I presume he's playing off the right. Might not.
People are saying Van der Beek on the left confirmed. I don't know where they're getting it confirmed from, but if it is confirmed, then fair enough. I think it'll be interesting, watching him and his relationship with Shaw in the match, because, the one thing that I saw on the weekend was, off the left, when you have somebody playing with Luke Shaw, you need that winger to be very direct, right? To open up space for Shaw and for the striker. Yeah. And Donny doesn't strike me as that kind of person, right? He's very much someone who maybe will take the safer option, play it into the middle and try and make a dart and run. He wants the ball, to be fair. Maybe I'm not doing him enough justice there, but yeah, I don't know how I expect him to play off the left. I expect to see a lot of interchange, right? That's something you'll expect a lot of. But I think a lot of people think we're going to be playing against a low block for a lot of the game. And maybe that's how it's going to end up going. But from what we know about young boys, they don't seem like a team that is going to do that, right? They seem to be quite stubborn in their ways, right? Like they're going to look to try and attack as much as possible. And in that sense, this could be a fun game. It could be very open. In transition, I don't really know. I'm not actually thought about this. In transition, I guess we do have quite a bit of counter-attacking threat. Bruno's obviously a threat. Ronaldo can still run with the best of them. Sancho as well will be good for that. And even Donny will be good. So I don't know, Mark. There's nothing too crazy about this game. When I look at it, maybe, we get into the game and something mad just happens and we see some sort of mad tactical adjustment. But I don't look at this game and think, ooh, loads of interesting things. I just think, yeah, we should just go out and win. We should probably smash them 4-5-0.
I see. I disagree with you on that. I think there's a few people who are on that point with you as well. But I think they're a very experienced Champions League side. And it is an artificial pitch. There was a lot of talk about whether it's real or artificial. And, that is always an advantage. I'm old enough. This is where age can be told. I remember Luton Town having a plastic pitch and QPR and Oldham, and they used to play in the top division. And it is very different. You know that, Levin. I know that. Playing on grass compared to playing on AstroTurf is or whatever they call it now, 4G, whatever. It's different, and I think that these teams very rarely get smashed on these sort of pitches.
Look, fair enough. Ollie himself said in the presser, them having AstroTurf is an advantage to them, right? They're used to playing on it, but ultimately, like, that's not big enough for me to go, oh, maybe they really have a shot the AstroTurf pitch. Like, I'm just not looking at it like that. Like, fair enough. Maybe the first 15, 25 minutes, there will be an adjustment period, and we might see that, maybe there'll be a couple errors here and there. We just have to hope we don't get seriously punished for them. But ultimately, like, I don't think that AstroTurf is enough for us to go, oh, they have a shot here. Like, we should still beat these guys. There shouldn't be this. We have Champions League experience. We have arguably the greatest Champions League player ever up front. We have Sancho, who's played plenty of Champions League football. If we had Varane, I would have added him, right? Because that would have been perfect. But no, we're going with Lindelof instead. I'm not worried, Mark. That's just me.
I want a clean sheet, to be honest. You know what I want to say here, right now. I want a clean sheet. Andrew Winder and Druv, thanks for joining the members club. You can do that by clicking the join button. You get your little badge next to your name in the chat. And why does McTominay play centre back for Scotland sometimes? And he is good in that. Is he good in that position? I'd rather play Lindelof. That's what I think. But McTominay's a midfielder. I think that's where we'll be using Scott McTominay. No, I think we'll win. I've actually gone with a 4-0. What you're going to go with, Levin?
I think I said on the show yesterday 5-0. Somebody asked me in my DMs today. I was like, maybe 4-0, but something like that. 4-0, 5. I think we should score a lot of goals. And we may not. And I think I've gone 3-0 for almost every game this season, and it's not been right yet. But I expect us to score quite a lot of goals. I think once we get into our rhythm, get into the flow of the game, I want to see a lot of goals from us.
Yeah. Well, I just think probably say that young boys are around a sort of mid-table to top of the table championship side. But as I said, if it clicks, you got Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka bombing forward. I mean, Fred, all right, try and bypass him a little bit. But Pogba, Van der Beek, Bruno, Sancho, Ronaldo. I want to see us creating chances. I don't see how you can have a game against young boys where you're like struggling side to side, to break them down. There's two, if anything, Ollie's gone with a lot of creative talent there. And it's interesting, on BT, they have got Van der Beek playing next to Fred in a midfield, but then other apps have got Van der Beek playing off the left. So this is going to be the big discussion point all the way through till kickoff. Nobody actually knows where Donny's going to play. Where would you rather he was playing, Levin? That's a good point.
I'd like to see him out wide. I'd like to see him out wide because, like I've tried to tell people for ages, when you look at Van der Beek, defensively isn't, his strong point per se, right? You look at many different statistics when it comes to, interceptions, blocks, tackles, whatever it is. He doesn't register very high up in those numbers compared to other midfielders. And so if he's high up the pitch, it's almost similar to what we say about Pogba when he plays there, where it's like there's a bit less defensive responsibility. He can focus on, being aggressive, getting into the box, being direct. And that's a lot of his biggest strengths. That's where you see the best of Van der Beek. So I'd rather him play out wide today rather than in the midfield.
See, I would rather play him in the midfield because I think that that's where we need somebody who's decent. Matic for me is past it. Fred, I don't know what he is. And McTominay, again, I think McTominay's a bit injury prone as well. I think that might be a problem this season. But McTominay is an option, of course. And I think I'd like to have more options. And if Donny van der Beek played in the midfield today and he was an all-action, tackling, passing midfielder, he might solve a problem for us. I do agree with what you're saying. There's a lot of ifs in what I'm saying. You want Van der Beek to become a player that probably he isn't. But I just think his pathway to the team is easier if he's playing in the midfield. But he probably will be playing off the left. We'll have to wait and see. Charles says, why is he playing on the left? Well, again, I mean, that's the point, isn't it? Why is he playing off the left? Because obviously there's two ways of looking at it. Either Ollie sees him as a number 8 and he's going to give him a run as a number 8, or Ollie thinks, I need to give him a bloody game. I need to give him some game time because I'm getting a lot of stick here. So where can we play him, Kadaki? And it's like, well, let's play him on the left because...
Yeah, I think if he was playing on the left, it would say to me more so that it's not a matter of being a part of the plans. It's just let's look to get him some game time.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's in the midfield, then you can go, like if he played Fred and a Donny pivot, that to me says like he actually wants to try that out and see how that works in games. And I guess if you're Van der Beek stan, you know, that's a positive. If he's playing out on the left, long term, is, you know, how often can he get on in that sort of a position? Probably not much, right? You know, you're right in that sense.
Yeah.
But I don't think his path to being a starter, if that's the end goal for Donny van der Beek, which once again I'll say I don't think it's what it ever was intended to be. But if the pathway is to being a starter, he doesn't have an easier time in the midfield, because if he was playing in the midfield today, Mark, he'd be playing next to Fred as the number 8 in sort of Pogba's role, the one who's, you know, got more freedom to go forward. He doesn't have an easier time getting into a team in that position. He's competing with Pogba.
His best position is, and it probably isn't his position, is the number 6.
But
that's the only place that's up for grabs, really, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? That's the only place that's up for grabs. But like the manager doesn't see him as that. Like the manager doesn't, you know, think that's his position. And the same way I was listening a bit earlier, Mark, the same way you were talking about McTominay, where you go, you know, because people think Matic has passed it and Fred isn't good, oh, let's play McTominay as that sort of position. You know, that's not right. You know, you said that earlier, right?
Yeah, I agree,
you know what I mean? Like that's the same way people should see it with Van der Beek, but they don't see it like that with Van der Beek, because in Van der Beek, they see a player who is a very, very good footballer and they just think, let's just get him in somehow. But, you know, you should see it that same way, where it's like, I understand Matic probably has passed it. Fred probably isn't good enough. But that doesn't mean we should now just shoehorn Van der Beek into a position that he isn't. And it is his best chance to get into the team, but it's not really a chance, because the manager's just never going to play him there, because that's not who he is as a footballer.
And it's a great point, actually, because it is the same as McTominay. You know, people want to put McTominay at 6 because they think Fred's crap and Matic is too old, but I don't think McTominay's a 6. And again, I don't really think Donny's a 6. I just think because he's mentioned that word 6, we start to think that maybe he is. The Platinum Noun says, found you in lockdown and been a follower since 650k. Thanks for your help in this tough year. You were one of the big influences that made me want to start my new streaming channel. That's the Platinum Lounge. Thank you very much for the super chat. Do you think Haaland secretly wants to go to United? If he wanted to go anywhere else, he would be gone by now. No, he'll go next summer. Don't think there's anything to do with United, AJ. Ollie's playing Donny on the left because he thinks he can't do any damage there. He clearly doesn't trust him. Worrying move, says Andrew O'Brien. And hey, Mark, how are you doing? Very happy to see Donny in the team, and I'm excited because the Champions League is back. Get in. And I think that excitement's important, isn't it, 11? One thing I just wanted to say as well, I'm just going to stand up and sort something out, but Lingard and Martial. I mean, Martial's been brilliant in the international break, and Lingard scored at the weekend. Greenwood's been rested, and yet it's, you know, Donny comes in. Rashford's still injured. Cavani's injured, and Martial and Lingard still can't get in the first team, even though they might be going, oh, you know, I'd quite fancy a start here.
Yeah, I think with Donny and not Donny, sorry, everyone has their man on Donny. With Martial and Lingard, I expected Lingard to play today, to be honest. I really did think Martial and well, I didn't know about Martial, but I thought Lingard would play. Just had one of them weird feelings. Martial, it's going to be hard for him to feature as a starter, but, you know, I think he'll come off the bench probably. We'll probably see some Martial today. I'm fine with that. He does need, you know, minutes under his belt, and, you know, hopefully we can, you know, raise the scoreline a bit so that he has an opportunity to come on and it's not as much of a risk. But no, I'm not. There's lots of competition now. That's the reality. There's lots of competition. Look, I'm seeing a lot of people, Mark, who are, you know, I've spoken about Martial and Lingard, but I'm seeing a lot of people who are still frustrated about this Donny thing because they don't get it, and I've had to explain it 45,000 times on this channel. You get the Andes, you get the Andes in chat going, but Levin, Donny himself said he's a number 6. There's different types of number 6s. How many times does it have to be explained to you? Number 6 is a position, but it's also a role, and people get that confused. So he's saying he can play in number 6 as the position, because he can play that position, but he can't play the role that we want him to play in that position. What don't you understand about that? It's not rocket science. Do you know what I mean? Kimmich is a different type of number 6 to Fabinho, who's a different type of number 6 to flipping Jorginho. Like, there's different types of number 6s. Do you understand that? So the type of number 6 Donny is and can play isn't the type of number 6 that Matic is and can play. Do you get that? That's why when people like me who are trying to tell you, yes, Donny can play as a number 6, but not in a single pivot or not the type of number 6 we want in that position, I'm not saying it because I don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't like Donny. I'm saying it because I do know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to help you understand, because you're frustrated that Ollie isn't playing him there, and he's not playing it there because Ollie's like some blind guy and he needs a walking stick or something. He's playing him there because he doesn't see him in that position. It's not hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so infuriating when I get these people like, oh, this 11 guy don't know what he's talking about. No, I actually do know what I'm talking about. You don't understand. So to fit your narrative, you think I don't know what I'm talking about. So you just tell yourself I don't know what I'm talking about. But I actually do. Just flip and listen. I'm not the only one saying it as well. It's like, and you know, the maddest thing is, Mark, right? I say it, yeah. They'll just what the fuck this 11's guy on about? Flipping Roy Keane wants to say it right now. They go, oh yeah, you know what? Roy Keane actually he's made a point there. Great pundit.
You sound like bloody Roy Keane. You're getting that high pitched.
No, but it's mad. Like, it's actually mad. Like,
say nonsense.
So not saying nonsense. I ain't got that Irish accent. Oh, jeez, really?
It's good though. No, it's good. I mean, I went to get a glass of water and I come back and I think you need the water tipping on you. You're on fire here.
No.
But yeah, I do. Look, I think people are so desperate to solve a number 6 problem without using Fred that they will try. I mean, look, I'll tell you what. I don't want to get you more stressed, but I was literally looking at Twitter there, and somebody has said on Twitter, I don't mind the team, but I think it's a real missed opportunity to play Lindelof at CDM. And I'm like, I'm in your gang now, because I'm like, the Lindelof at CDM thing, everybody ridicules. It started in the chat and on social media. It's never a realistic option. Ollie's never going to do it. It's not even been mentioned by Ollie.
It's brilliant.
It's just a fan theory that Lindelof can play at CDM. But now it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that is just Lindelof at CDM is the one where I've actually tried my best, Mark. And we've spoken about this off camera, but I've tried my best to not answer it seriously. Like, I don't want to give it validity. Do you know what I mean? Because as soon as you maybe even start talking about it, people go, actually, you know what? I didn't think about that. You know, Lindelof should actually place it. No. Like, okay, guys, let me do the explainer right now. We tried to play out the back, right? And we struggled at times to play out the back. You know, being a centre back, the type of passes Lindelof's, you know, people, that's the one thing they say, Mark. They go, oh, Lindelof's a great passer. Look at the long balls he's playing. Like, he's a brilliant passer. That's not what it's about in the position, right? We're talking about being able to play it quickly. Some of it's medium, short range, and long range passing. You know, Lindelof has never excelled at, you know, these close control, short range passes. Like, we've never seen him do that. So, you know, he's
got to be physical in the midfield.
Exactly.
I've seen more physical paper bags, you know.
He's not that guy. Do you know what I mean? You know, like that video. You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Like, it's not Lindelof. Sorry.
JJ45 says, maybe if we're winning by lots, we can get Elanga some minutes without just the reserves. I mean, Varane rotated for Vera the vacuum. Why? Just why? Says Martin Vella. Everyone arguing about Lindelof and Donny van der Beek playing CDM. Did everyone forget about Phil Jones? Says Mario. We're Man United. We don't put centre-backs in as CDM. If we need a CDM, we buy a class CDM. Exactly. And I think that's absolutely spot on from Butterpants. And Levin, I get the point, but at the same time, he has to be better lately than Fred. In that position, we've never seen Donny van der Beek, so how do we know? But I just think, as I said, this all comes down to the desperation that we need a number 8, we need a number 6. So people start going, wow, Lindelof might not be a bad number 6. You know what? If Phil Jones can stay fit, he might not be a bad number 6. Put Fred at number 6. I tell you what, when Cavani's back, he runs around a lot. He could be a number 6. And it's like,
Mark,
it goes back to the club, doesn't it? The club should just buy a 6. It's not our job to start creating 6s.
Mark, I'm so happy you reminded me of this because I completely forgot about it, right? I was having a conversation in DMs with someone about this, right? Like, I get so many people that will ask me, like, Levin, why don't you think? Okay, your argument, right? If your argument is Fred has been so bad in the past 2 games he's played, Donny can't be any worse. And you know what? That might be true. But guess who else might be better? Cavani would probably be better as a CDM, right? Can Cavani, if you put Cavani as a number 6 in those last 2 games, could he have been as bad as Fred was? Probably not. Cavani's got a good close touch about him. He works hard. He can put in a tackle. So why don't you play Cavani? You know what? Why don't you play Dean Henderson there? You know, he used to be an outfield player when he was younger. Play Dean Henderson. He couldn't have been as bad as Fred, could he? Like, it's not, you know, that's not the point sometimes. Like Mark said, the point is about, you know, actually we should have gone out and recruited DM. And as well, you know, as much as you might not want to hear it, like, you know, and trust me, it almost sickens me to my soul to say it. Ollie and Kieran McKenna and Michael Carrick, they're not going to be sitting there thinking Fred is finished. They're sitting there thinking, oh, look, Freddie's had a bad run of games, let's do our best to support him. Let's hope he can get a bit better. They don't see Fred as a finished player. They see Fred as somebody who, is just in bad form, and they'll wait for him to get into good form because they see him as their best option. And that's why he's playing today. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, controversial. I mean, Emrano says, Levin, can you explain the 6 role again, please? I think we all missed it. Banter. Mark, from experience from Norwegian League, I tend to be less tackles and duels on artificial grass, as per Eric Klassen. What is the difference between Lindelof and John O'Shea playing CDM? Says Sean O'Sullivan. And on the United app, they've listed the lineup seemingly in order. Fred is next to Van der Beek in the list, and Pogba's next to Ronaldo and Bruno. Nathan G. This Donny madness has to end, says Jimmy Garner. Does Donny have to start for us to win the league? No. Do we need a true 6 to win it? Maybe. Donny is a backup. That's it. And Mark, the thing for me is that I'll say it again. Where does the Lindelof thing come from? It comes from you. It's not coming. Ollie's never come out in an interview and gone, I tell you what, be interesting to play Lindelof at CDM, won't it, everyone? I'll leave you with that. He's never dropped a hint about doing it. It's a fan theory. So talking about it in a realistic sense is, it's silly, isn't it? It's like saying, oh, is Batman going to appear in the next Star Wars? It's like, well, as a fan theory, that might be something you're interested in, but it's never going to happen, is it? And I don't think Lindelof's going to appear in our midfield, even though some people think it's an opportunity. I don't think it's going to happen. And as for the number 6 role, I just wanted to say this, Levin, as well. I totally agree with the criticism that Fred has had, but I don't think that he is a player that I do think there's a player in Fred. And I don't know what you think.
I don't think Fred will ever be the player we want and we need to win, titles. But yeah, what Fred has been the past couple games that he's played, Fred has been like a 2 out of 10, right? And I've said it on the show before, if Fred can go back to just being like a 6 or 7 out of 10, a lot of the problems we have wouldn't be as significant, or we wouldn't, be screaming about it the way we are. But it's just because he's been so bad that it has been a problem. And look, I do want to say again, right?
He has been a good player for his Fred, It was over a year ago.
Yeah, there's been times when he's been, he's actually put in the job for us and put in work. And I think, we almost all have some form of like recency bias in that sense. And I think people do see the last 2 games. I think because we came into the season so excited, right? You looked at our business, everybody's excited. So you come into the season really optimistic, really happy. And then when you see Fred drop the stinkers that he dropped, you almost do forget everything that he's ever done before, just because it's like, no, if that's what you're going to be, we want you gone. Like, we want you out the squad, right? And I get that. I can understand that. I watched both of those games where Fred played and I went, oh, that was disgusting. That was repugnant. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. But like you said, I think the coaching staff will think there's a player in Fred. There's many people who see what Fred can offer when he's not playing as bad as he has been. And so to that extent, yeah, I'm not one of the people who's been saying like release Fred. I've seen people actually seriously, like not ironically going, yeah, Fred should be released, mate. What are we doing as a club? Why has Fred not been released? Like, flipping hell, man. Please, just calm it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear Fred or McTominay being sold. That's not what I want to see. But I think it's important seasons for them, and I do think people forget that Fred has been good in a United shirt, and I think that's because he's not been good recently, that he's getting deserved stick. And look, you can't carry a player at United. You either play well or you don't. And I think at the moment he's not playing well. But I do think that what Levin said there is probably got some element of truth in it. That I think that Ollie sees him as an important player, and that's why he keeps picking him, and he expects him to get better. Mike says seems like a good opportunity to try Lindelof on the wing. And Levin, that's a poor argument. Donny actually has some decent defensive abilities. How can we know unless we try? Not saying it will work, but do you think Donny would hurt us there? It's all speculation, says Noah.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I didn't want to have to do this, right? I really didn't want to do this. But let's actually go, right? Let's go on Football Reference, right? Football Reference, great website. Will give you all the statistics you need to see for yourself. Compared to people in the top 5 European leagues over the past 365 days, Donny has had 16.8 pressures per 90, bottom 38% across midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues. Interception, 0.95, bottom 20% across Europe's top 5 leagues. Blocks, 1.23, bottom 19% across Europe's top 5 leagues. Clearances, 0.85, bottom 19% in Europe's top 5 leagues. Aerial duels won, 0.66, bottom 22% across Europe's top 5 leagues. What I'm trying to get across to people is, look, Donny van der Beek is not, he's not some sort of defensive mastermind in that sense, right? He is not this guy who is running around the pitch getting tackles like Kante. And, that doesn't mean he's a bad defender. I don't think Donny van der Beek is bad defensively. There's been times with myself, I've seen him put in good tackles and, he puts in a shift. He works hard. He's a hard-working footballer. But, let's not act like he's, got, this secret defensive ability that we don't know about or haven't seen before. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, let's look at the facts. He's not been somebody who historically has, lit up the world defensively. He hasn't been. Now, I will say to people, because as much as I know, for the rest of my time on the United, some people will just see, the run and take it for that. But, the whole point of the run and everything I say is I'm explaining to people, I'm just trying to explain to people why Donny doesn't get used in that position, right? Like, that's just the reality. That's why he doesn't get used in that position. That's what the coaching staff sees. That's what, many, analytical people see. And that's why he doesn't get used in that position. Now, if you want to say to me, okay, Levin, I get that, but of all the people we have that have been bad, like, Donny can't, get that much worse. And to be fair, use the Cavani and Dean Henderson example. At least Donny's an actual midfielder. That is true. Like, yeah, Donny is an actual midfielder, and he's come up through Ajax where you have to come up playing every position. Maybe if he can evolve his game to be that. I'm not saying he can't ever be that kind of number 6, but he isn't that now. And that's the most important thing. Like, he isn't that now. If he, over the next couple of years, develops himself to be the kind of number 6 we want, a holding midfielder, more of a deep line playmaker, better defensively, fair enough, I'm all for it. But he's not that now.
Well, Levin, it's been a pleasure having you on pre-match.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to laugh my head off if you'll be able to see Levin on the fan forum, presenting the fan forum after the game. And I'm going to laugh my head off.
I'm not going to be here on the front for the fan forum.
Oh, aren't you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here for the fan forum. But I'll be sometime soon.
So it would be funny if he was playing at number 6 anyway. But
imagine now, Donny. Imagine now he plays number 6 and he just drops a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I'll put my look. If he was, I'd put my hands up and say, fair enough. Yeah, look, fair enough, cool. But it's not going to happen, is it?
Mate, it's been a pleasure having you on. I've enjoyed it. It's somebody said a piano's got 88 keys, just about the same as Levin's voice tones. But it's been a pleasure having you on, mate. Score prediction? You're still going to go big score, yeah? Yeah.
I'm still expecting a big score. I'm still expecting a lot of goals. I want to see good football. I want to see good, fluid football. I want us to be direct. I don't want us to be, scared of this Swiss team, because I think they low-key want to try and intimidate us. They're going to have a lot of fans in the ground. They're going to be feeling off this AstroTurf vibe or whatever, but we got to go out there and be Manchester United.
Definitely, mate. It's been a pleasure having you on, and I'll speak to you again soon.
See you guys. Enjoy the game.
Cheers, mate. Big shout out to Levin there. I enjoyed that. I literally went to get a glass of water. I came back and Levin was losing his shit, which is always good. Over the Donny number 6 situation, which we still don't know whether he's going to play at 6 or not. Apatrum says Donny has not played in the last 365 days. Those stats come from playing like 3 games in the last 365 days, says Leo Man United. I forgot Carrick was so good at jumping and tackling, says Cross. And do you think Carrick could convert into a CDM over the next year, says Billy Thomas. I try again. Donny had a 77% tackle success rate in 1920 from Eredivisie, and Diddy had 71% and Fred 57%. So Donny is not bad in tackles. Look, I think it's a great conversation, and I think we've probably done it to death, really. That can Donny play as a number 6? All I would say is that it's. Sorry, I've just got to answer this. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. Not his preferred position, says Advath Warrior. I think in relation to Donny van der Beek as a number 6, I don't know. I don't know. And I very rarely have the displeasure of not having an opinion on something. But I really don't want to be, because I know my words get taken out of context all the time. I always said he was a number 8 in this league. I always felt that he was a number 8, and we've not really seen enough of that. So for me to say, well, he's a number 6 just because he said he's a number 6, as I think, as Levin said before, is that a number 6 in a situation whereby we're playing with 2 6s? Until he plays in that position, we don't know. But I certainly don't think he's going to play in that position today. I think that he's going to play either 8 or left wing. So I really do hope that there is some outcome for Donny van der Beek that is a positive one for him. But ultimately, I'm very excited to see him playing. Watch out for Vincent Sierra Mark. He may surprise you with his performance today. And have been watching his performance for a month, says Zahaj. Well, let us know who he's all about. The point is that the manager today is, I nearly called him Timo Werner. It's David somebody, isn't it? David Varner or something like that. I think he was the best man at Jurgen Klopp's wedding. Somebody just sent me on a DM. And he did beat us when he was manager of Huddersfield. So, look, I hope they give us a good game, but I expect a clean sheet and I expect to create lots of chances. And if we create lots of chances, we've got the players on the pitch to score lots of goals. So I'm going to go 4-0, but that's not a disrespectful way. You know, I'd expect to go and beat Reading in the FA Cup 4-0. I think 4-0 to us today would be a fantastic result. David Wagner, that's it. I think it would be a fantastic result for Manchester United tonight to win 4-0 against the young boys side that isn't as bad as some people think. They're not a bad side. We only beat them 1-0 at Old Trafford 3 years ago. And we beat them 3-0 at their place. So I just think the reason we will beat them well today is because we are playing well. And I think that we will create a lot of chances with Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho and Ronaldo in the same team. I mean, that just gets me excited. It's very, very exciting. And I can't wait to see how it builds out. They are going to score first, then a Ronaldo hat-trick. And wonder if Ziggy... you know, we start reading a chat and then you realise. United app has got Donny playing on the left wing. Yeah, but TJ, BT had him playing in the midfield. Or another app had him playing on the left wing. I think until you see the team, you just don't know. We're 10 minutes away from kickoff. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. And also, Boohoo Man are sponsoring the show today. That's why I'm wearing some of my Boohoo Man active range. And Seb, I've told you to tell her to come down if you want someone with you. What do you want? Shout her to come down and sort it for you, please. I told you to do that. Thank you. Go on then. He's walking around all the place. It's just getting in my eye line walking through. And now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah. So effectively, we can win this game and win it well and send a good message. And it's about chemistry. It's about Ronaldo and it's about everybody else. So look, would I have picked Varane? Yes, I would have done. Am I massively bothered? No. I think the most important thing was that Van der Beek started. I'm really excited to see Jadon Sancho. I actually thought he played well at the weekend. If I was his coach when he came off, I would have said, you did everything I wanted you to do. And let's build on it in the next game. You're starting. That's what I would be looking for. Fred will make a lot of mistakes and he can cost us the game, says Mohammed. I think there's a bit of negativity in the chat. And I think that I've said this before. I've noticed it with Wan-Bissaka. I've noticed it with Bruno. I hope that we're turning a corner as a fan base. And I want us to turn a corner as a fan base where we're more positive. And to do that, we need to rid ourselves of these predictive negatives. Look, what if Fred has a good game? It almost feels to me like if Fred has a good game now, it won't be acknowledged because you've already made your mind up on him. I believe there is a good player in Fred. I've seen a good player in Fred for United. We haven't seen it for a long time. I've got to admit, I can't remember the last time he played well. He was crap for most of last year with McTominay, but maybe that was because of who they were playing with. You know, look at Maguire and Lindelof last year. Maguire got a lot of stick last year. I figured it out around Christmas that Maguire wasn't the big problem, that it was because he needed a proper centre-back next to him. Look, Maguire might have a bad game tonight. How much will that be because he's playing with Lindelof? So I think there's a good player in Fred, and I just hope he can start to get some form back. Because to be honest with you, when it comes to playing as a number 6, if it's McTominay, Fred or Matic, the most suitable number 6 probably is Fred because of his mobility. Not for his passing, I admit, but I think we've just got to give everybody, we've got to try and keep this buzz going. And also, there are quite a few things to fix at Manchester United. We've said it before. And we noticed it against Newcastle, the high line. Will we see a high line today with Lindelof, or will we have to drop deep? That'll be frustrating if we have to drop deep. Will we see us create more chances? Because I've seen United go and play away in Europe, Europa League, Champions League, Premier League. Obviously, that's not in Europe. Against teams where you think you're going to win 3 or 4-0, and then you finish the game and you're giving your striker 5 out of 10 because they've been in the graveyard shift. And creating chances is very important, isn't it? I can't imagine Chelsea and Man City ripping into the team as much as we do. Bring the positivity, says Ollie Phillips. Look, what I want to see today is Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho, quick interchanges, quick give and go. Donny will love that sort of football, and let's make chances for Ronaldo. I want to see a really, talk about stats on the screen. We'll be showing you that in the second half. On that shots on target, I want to see 10. I want to see 10 shots on target today. Look, we might have 20 shots and 10 on target, but I also want to see with Donny, I want to see pass success rate good. I want to see chances created. Let's see if we can create two or three key chances today. And if we do that, then I'm happy, because I think we've had so many games recently where we've not done that. So this is the progression. This is the buzz. Of course, there's always going to be players that you don't want. What if Varane had started instead of Lindelof, but Donny hadn't started? What if Varane had started, and Delo had started at right back, but he hadn't played Ronaldo? So, you're very rarely going to get the 11 you want when you've got rotation. We wanted rotation. I think some people think rotation is changing half the team. For me, rotation, and I think it is for Ollie as well, is changing 2 or 3 players every game or every other game. That's rotation. We might see Lingard start against West Ham at the weekend because Ollie might have penciled him in for West Ham because he's played against West Ham and he knows what they're all about. People aren't thinking about that because we're thinking about the game tonight. And look at that as well. Champions League night, crowds in the stadium. Love it. Absolutely love it. Pogba and Matic are the best midfield in Manchester United, says Flashy. I can't remember. And thanks for the super chats, by the way. Keep them coming. Do it through the $sign. We'll read those out. How on earth Ollie dropped Champions League Varane to accommodate his Mrs. Lindelof? Really is doing my head into his tour. His Mrs. Lindelof. Oh, I tell you. I tell you. It's all good. It's all good. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. The players are in the tunnel. Ronaldo. I mean, look, the best thing about this time before the game kicks off is that we've spent so much time talking about where Donny's going to play, whether Lindelof should start, and we've not spoken. And we spoke about Sancho as well, which I think is really important. But we've never spoken about. We've not really spoken about the man himself, the real Mr. Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo. Hope we get more of this type of rotation from Ollie in both first team lineups and subs, says Path. I don't mind 2 or 3 changes a game. If we use a squad of 18, 19 players and he rotates 2 or 3 players every game, then that's proper rotation. He should be looking at, maybe mid-October, there's a game where you cannot play Bruno. Maybe there's a game you cannot play Pogba. Maybe there's a game you don't play Ronaldo. But looking at that young boys side coming out, straight away, you can see players that are, look, it's hard to judge, but they look like a team that's going to be physical. And somebody said that some of them are fast. So, let's bring it on. Let's bring it on. And the United team comes out. They're playing in the blue kit today. I thought I saw Jesse Lingard coming out there. No, he didn't. Look, Donny van der Beek walks onto the pitch. Massive, massive game for Donny. Massive game for Donny. We know this. Donny van der Beek has to be absolutely on it today. And I hope he is. I hope he is, because this is a 90-minute game. Coming on for the last half an hour is an opportunity, but coming on to start the game, it's absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. So really, really excited by it. And hopefully it'll work. Bam, bam, bam. Let's get ready. Let's have a bit of a practice before we kick off as well. Sue, I'm going to try and get it right. I'm not going to call Sue out tonight. She's getting fed up. C, low. C, which does sound like C, or C with your mouth. And then you go, ooh, Sue, C. Sue. Which one do you think I should do? Do you think I should do Sue? Sheep's a little key. Shall I say Sue? Shall I say Sue? Which makes me look like an idiot. Or do I just go Sue? Which one do I do? Swoo. Swit, swoo. I sound like a bloody turtle with a lisp. Not a turtle. I sound like an owl with a lisp. Swit, swoo. Swit, swoo. Let's bring it on anyway. Let's get it on. The players are out on the pitch and we're about ready to go. 2 minutes away from kickoff here. And look, let's hope it is men against boys tonight. We've heard that football one a lot before. 2:30 a.m. in Australia. Oh, yeah. Look, I just want to shout out wherever you're watching from as well. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 132,000 tonight. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the channel. Remember, in the second half, you can vote for all your player ratings again. And we'll go through that on the match reaction. We're only 200 subscribers away from 132,000. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the chat as ever. And Maguire's on the circle here. He's just having a little bit of a chat with the referee and the captain, sorting that out. Swoo, says Fever Gangster. Thanks for the super chats. Mark, please don't say Sue again. All jokes, says Jace. Mark, I love the Champions League. Could you see this lineup morph into a 4-4-2 during the game? I'm just massively excited, Bryce. Funny thing is that Fred returning to his form of a year ago will convince me more than anything that we can win it all. That completes the team. The best thing that can happen is that Fred has a good game. You won't get me saying that Fred's not having a good, I want him to have a good game. I want him to play well. I do. I desperately, desperately do. Make sure you smash a like on the video watching. We're about to kick off here. Okay. And they'll take the knee. We'll go. No, we're not. We're not going yet. We're going. Now, kick off. I'm sure I'm sue you, says FIFA Gangster. Okay, he's getting excited. At this point, Goldbridge saying sue is more exciting than Ronaldo saying see, says Andrew Zakov. And I need a proper lesson. Ronaldo should do lessons where I can do it. Anyway, here we go. Let's have a look at the most important thing is not sue or see. We're looking at Ollie at the moment. The cameras are looking at Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer. The game's been going for 30 seconds and we're looking at Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer. Donny van der Beek is playing in the midfield. Sue! Yes, get in. Donny's playing in the midfield. Just woke up from an early nap, but I'm so happy to see Donny get a chance in the left wing. He's not on the left wing, Jace. Go back to sleep. He's playing as a number 8 and Pogba is playing off the left. Good. Very happy about that. Very happy about that. So remember, we're playing on this 4G pitch here. So be interested to see how the players develop. I'm not a big fan of these 4G pitches. I think football should be played on grass at the highest level, not on 4G. Some of them are very good. I mean, I'm sure most of you have played on 4G pitches, but Donny, I want to see Donny and Fred playing as a 2. I actually don't want to see Fred dropping. I want to see us playing as a midfield 2 because I don't think that suits Pogba. But if it suits Donny, it could be really important. But yeah, I mean, this is his chance to shine. It's basically Fred against Donny. Fred's playing to the left. Donny's playing to the right. They're going to play the same role. Let's see what he can do. Let's see how he can settle in here. Maguire bringing it out into Luke Shaw. Nice little flick into Pogba. Here we go. Good tackle there. And they clear it away. I mean, Pogba's played very well. Good little touch back there by Fred as well. Come on, get the tempo up. Get the tempo up. I don't want to see this. None of this bloody boring side-to-side shit. Get the ball moving. That's nice between Ronaldo and Sancho and Donny. Ooh. That's the right lineup on the screen now, but Young Boys having a run through, shoots wide, and wants a corner, but I think it's a goal kick. Ran straight at Lindelof and got a shot off. Never happened against Varane, but this is what happens when you pick Lindelof. Fred muscled off the ball as well. So it's something about, to be fair, it's Fred bullied again, says Josh. I hadn't seen that. I mean, Lindelof doesn't really do much wrong, really, and De Gea's got the angles covered, but it's Fred bullied off the ball straight away. He's just not strong enough. He's not strong enough. He should be playing for Young Boys because he gets pushed off like a toddler. But this is happening a bit too much for me in the first 2 minutes. Little 5-yard passes, move it. Even Maguire's saying move it. Come on. Got to get through that. Let's see. I don't like it when we do this. We're only 2 minutes in, so calm down. But it's this whole give the ball to Lindelof and Maguire and let them hit long passes. I mean, is it the Lindelof show? Let's try and hit long balls because that's what Lindelof's good at. You've got people like Pogba, Bruno, Sancho behind Ronaldo. Let's use the bloody ball. Quick touching, 1-2. None of the long ball crap that we've seen before. Move the ball. Here we go. Ooh, I nearly said Sue. It was Jaden, actually. Fred got bodied. Better from United, though. Sancho nearly got in there. Let Donny warm up, chat. Yeah. Look, if Donny has a bad game, we probably won't see him again for a year. But as somebody said in the chat before, you've got to be given some adjustment time. Mark, you stoked about? Oh God, bye. You've spent £4.50 to get blocked. Weirdo, absolutely weird. Why does Ollie play Fred? Says XD Henry, because he likes it. The White Owl says Donny's playing as a number 6. I think he's playing it as a number 6 in this way. No, I think he's playing more of a number 8. Really, he's playing. Fred's coming deeper, definitely. Levin's just tweeted, Donny playing in the pivot then. Let's hope he does enough to show Ollie he can feature more. I think it's the best chance for him to feature more. But already you can see that Young Boys are going to be competitive in this game, which is what I said they would be. And I think I did predict 4-0, but to beat them 4-0, we're going to have to play really, really well. But they're moving the ball around quite nicely at the moment. Just nice to see Champions League football back with Manchester United in it, isn't it? And nice to see fans in the ground. There's nothing quite like European football. Champions League done properly. There's nothing quite like it. Nice play by Fred there. Bruno. It was a weird pass by Bruno. And Lindelof goes home to De Gea. Pitch factor, says Vash. Nice play out by De Gea into Wan-Bissaka. Give him some support. That's it. Into Donny. Nice ball by Donny. Spreads it to Bruno. Lovely little ball that by Donny. And now I like the way Donny moved that quickly as well. 40-yard pass, and now Bruno has to come back. This is not good. We've got to move that ball quicker. See, again, Fred's a 4-touch player, isn't he? Look, 3 touches to pass back to bloody Lindelof. That's the problem with Manchester United. The tempo's shite. We're on the attack. It comes to Fred. He takes 3 touches and passes it back to bloody Lindelof. Go the other way. We've got to get this mentality into the team. Don't go backwards. We're Manchester United. You don't see Man City and Liverpool going backwards. You've got to go forwards. This is what Fred is almost like, this is how I'm going to have a good game, passing it backwards and playing the safe ball. Well, Man United, you've got to take a risk. Take a bloody risk. It's like we're taking a trip back into last season, this first 6 minutes. Look at him again. Backwards again. Oh, is Fred on commission for passing the ball to bloody Lindelof? And then a long ball. A bloody long ball. Oh, then what's that? What is it? Why are we picking Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, and Sancho to play sideways passes back to bloody Lindelof to hit them long? Use the ball. I mean, look, people say you're moaning. I'm trying to do what a manager would do. Ollie should be on the side of the pitch saying, what are you doing? Unless he's telling them to do that. Move the ball quicker, move it forward, utilise the best players that we've got. I mean, it's very early days, but you can't just be hitting long balls. As somebody said before the game kicked off, we actually haven't got many quick players on the pitch, so long balls are a bad idea. What do you think about Varane not starting, says Alec? I'm not that fussed about Varane not starting. Welcome to the Members Club. I banned Patrick. And what we shouldn't do is we shouldn't disrespect young boys. That they're not a terrible side by any stretch of the imagination. But at the moment, here we go. Bruno, Pogba, Ronaldo into Bruno. This is better. Need to move the ball. So we're going to go back to the halfway line again now, aren't we? What is that from Bruno? These long balls are infuriating. What do I think when I see this? All I think, and Luke Shaw's going to come back to Maguire here. I think this is it. This is on another long ball, and we lose possession. This is terrible. This has got to change. This is absolutely terrible tactics so far. Side to side football and long balls. Like, get the tempo up, make the space. Bloody hell. I'm very surprised by the start of this game so far. I mean, basically, Fred gets the ball and just looks where he can pass it backwards. That's the story of the first 10 minutes. What's for dinner tonight, Ma? I had my dinner at lunchtime. Here we go. Bruno. Ooh. Go on, Bruno. Go on, Sancho. Oh. Close it down, Donny. Go on, Donny. Oh, he's turned him. We might get a booking for that. He's a bit late and a bit eager there, Donny. I think he got a little bit of the ball, to be fair. Have some patience with Donny, says Jenks. No, maybe not. Well, it's not a booking. That's something. Should have been a red. Well, some notes for the match reaction. Slow tempo, stroke, long ball. Nice by Pogba. Fred, move it forward. Yes, see? Lovely by Fred. Into Bruno. Here we go. That's better. Make him pass it forward. Luke Shaw. Cross. No, it's crap. Thoughts on Fred so far, says Alex. Well, it's a nice ball here. Hold up. Over on the left-hand side, up against Lindelof as he comes into the box. He's had Lindelof on toast. Oh, he's had Lindelof on toast there, the lad. I don't know who the lad is. Plays for young boys. Let's just call him a lad. He's had him on toast. Stands him up. Just one little bit of skill. God, you should not be getting skinned like that at this level. He's literally just gone. and cut through him. Not a very confident start by United, this. You can take into account the pitch. You've got to take into account the pitch. But it's the thing I would say about the pitch is it's the worst sort of pitch to play long ball on. The ball will not hold up on 4G. So hitting long balls, the best way to play football on Fiji, in Fiji, we're not playing in Fiji. The best way to play football on a 4G pitch is to pass it. Keep it on the ground and pass it. What's your score prediction, Mark? I did go 4-0, Seamus, and it still could be 4-0, but here we go. Bruno! Sue! He's onside! It's 1-0. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Sue! Cristiano Ronaldo. What a ball by Bruno. The Portuguese connection. That's beautiful. I tell you what, if that goal was edible, it'd be steak, chips, mushrooms, beans, onions, poached egg. Eat my goal. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this by Bruno. What an assist. What an assist. It's just absolutely beautiful. Sue with the goal. But Bruno, what an absolute beautiful. What a goal. What a goal. What a goal. Sue. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. But Ronaldo will be loving life. Ronaldo is going to be loving life. He breaks the Champions League record. He breaks his own Champions League record. Moves it up. But it's the pass by Bruno. Absolutely magnificent. And the assist from Bruno. I tell you what, Ollie's got to appreciate that assist. World class. Absolutely world class. That was the beautiful part about that goal. Absolutely magnificent assist by Bruno Fernandes. And what's that? 3-2 for Ronaldo. He'll be loving it. He'll be loving it, loving it, loving it. He'll be loving it like that. But look, I can't give enough praise for the assist. Outside of the foot, right through the back four. And Ronaldo says, thank you very much. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's perfect as well. Perfect time to score. And that we should hopefully settle a bit now, Pogba. Let's settle down a little bit now. Lovely goal. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're 100 away from 132,000. Poor first touch by Sancho there. This is the difference of having world-class players, though. You know, not a fantastic start, slow tempo, hitting long balls. But when you've got a player of that quality in your team, they can change the game. And, I'm not talking about Ronaldo. I'm talking about that pass by Bruno. He takes out 4 players. How does a player on the left wing take out 4 players to give their striker a tap-in, basically? What a pass by Bruno Fernandes. It's brilliant. And we've got people like Pogba and Bruno with that level of creativity in them. Oh, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. What a pass by Bruno. And here he is again. And now we're starting to move. Now we move. Now we're starting to stretch it. This is better. We're moving the ball a lot quicker now. Look at this, Bruno. The confidence is showing now. Who needs a CDM when we've got Ronaldo? If we would have got a CDM and not Ronaldo, would have been less of an impact, says Mark Friedman. Ronaldo doesn't have it anymore. Bruno's a penalty merchant. Swivel on that. Swivel on that, Stephen. Exactly. Here we go. Bruno again. Good tackle there by the Swiss player. Or yeah, I don't know whether he's Swiss. Fred, come on. But this is, you know what? This is what, on a serious note, this is what you get with Ronaldo. Like, it's like, I think there's an education going on with Premier League fans at the moment. Maybe a bit of an education for some United fans, not for me and not for a lot of others, that Ronaldo's not been a winger for a long time. He's a number 9. And he's one of the world's best number 9s. In fact, for me, I think he is the world's best number 9. I think he's better than Kane, Lewandowski, Lukaku. I think he's the best number 9 in the world. He's remodeled his game over the last 5 years. He's a number 9. And he's so clinical. And he's going to be. I mean, he's got 3 goals in 2 games already. How many goals could he get this season? If we get better as a team and more creative, he'll score 40 goals this year. Just an outstandingly fantastic player. And but that's about Bruno. I tell you, like I'll tell you this now. We do a lot of shows together as a community. You know it as well as I do. You start to notice things, and I started to notice it. People want to go in on Bruno's playing brilliant. His first touch passing is amazing at the moment. People want to go, oh, what a ball. Oh, Pogba, why didn't you take it? You'd have been through one-on-one. Lovely, great ball by Bruno. Lovely run by Pogba. If he takes it, he's through one-on-one. But there are people in our fan base that don't like Bruno, that they want to go in on Bruno. And he's like, oh, I mean, there's very few players. I mean, what are Bruno's stats from coming in that first game against Wolves in January 2020 to now? What are Bruno's stats? He's just he's on fire. He's a brilliant player, and I think he's going to get even better with having Ronaldo there, because he's got a player that he idolizes. He wants to impress. I think a lot of what we've seen with Bruno has been a bit of frustration because he's sort of carrying the team. He doesn't carry the team anymore, so I think it will allow Bruno to get better. And Bruno, if there's one person Bruno wants to impress in football, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, and now he's playing with him every week. I think that. As I said, it's impossible for United not to finish in the top 4. We've just got too many individual players. And let's not forget, Mason Greenwood's not playing today. Marcus Rashford's not playing today. We've got players that are match winners in their own right who aren't even playing here. The quality we've got in the attacking positions is scary. What do I think of Donny in the first 20 minutes? I don't think he's played any better than a McTominay would play. I don't think he's grabbed the game by the balls, but he's been good. He's been solid, but you haven't played in so long, has he? We just need Ruben Neves to complete this Portuguese connection, says Franco. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you smash a like. Lovely ball out to Luke Shaw here. Can he whip it? Not properly. But Bruno's going to pick it up. Oh, what a ball by Bruno. Give it to Fred. Quicker. Fred, give it to Donny. Fucking hell, Fred. You greedy twat. He should have just passed that to Donny so Donny could have a shot. And he goes for a stupid shot. What a prat. Has he not been told don't shoot from the edge of the box? Donny was there. Lay it across to Donny and would have had a shot. If I was walking back to the halfway line now, I'd say, Fred, you did that on purpose because you don't want me to take your place shooting like that. Who do you think you are? Bloody Kalanoglu? I don't think Fred's played particularly bad today. I mean, he can. Who's that to there? Who's it? Is that Lindelof? Look, stop. Look, Lindelof's only way into this team is I can hit long balls. I can hit long balls. We know you can. Stop hitting them. We don't want to play long ball. We want to play fast tempo, pass and move. Bam 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 bam. Paul Marser, young boys retire. Oh, that pint of Guinness that Joe's got looks absolutely lovely. Oh, they've got a corner here. Not us, them. And it comes. Oh, nobody going to win it. This is where we miss Varane. Yeah, Sancho's been a bit quiet. Might be getting confused by the yellow shirts. Oh, again. There you go. There's your moment. Wan-Bissaka sucked in again because he's playing with Lindelof. Good block, Donny. What are you on about? Stop blaming. I tell you what, we've got a real problem in our fan base. They really have got it in for Wan-Bissaka. I think it's a disgrace. Bullies. You're a bunch of bullies. He's done absolutely nothing wrong, and you're absolutely obsessed with going after a player like that. You're a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. He's done absolutely nothing wrong this season, and people have got it in their head that he's now the player to scapegoat. Look at him. Wan-Bissaka's got sucked in there because Lindelof's out of position again. There's your stats on the screen. 66% possession for Manchester United so far. Only one shot on target, though. I do want that up at 10. Look at the long ball again. Why are we hitting long balls? Stop hitting long balls. Why is it not a disgrace to go after Lindelof, says Andre. I'm not going after Lindelof. I'm giving you football facts. If you can't deal with it, don't deal with it. I think Wan-Bissaka is such an underrated player, says Emily. Thank you very much. Just tuned in. What's the game been like? Who's been playing well, says Jacob. Look, basically, a moment of, I hate to say it because I know some people will love me saying this, and I'm not saying it for that reason. Individual brilliance has put us 1-0 up. We've played quite deep, really, and long ball. Quite a pragmatic approach to the game, but you can't really argue with it. I mean, to be honest, I remember Sir Alex used to take us away from home and play like this a lot. You know, you'd nick a goal and you'd stay defensively quite solid. They've not really had a chance yet. And just a moment of brilliance from Bruno. Good save, De Gea. Through the crowd. Got down low. Good save, De Gea there. Now it's Sancho on the break. Nice little play it now. Yes, here we go. Go, Bruno. Go. Slip it into Ronaldo. Here we go. Ronaldo. Oh, save the keeper. That's better. I like that. Fast tempo break. Good save from De Gea. Come through the crowd, gets down, strong hand, and then we're on the break. Sancho to Bruno to Ronaldo. That's good. Shot on target. We're up to 2. That'll do. Luke Shaw. Whip it, Luke. Sancho in the box. Oh, Megs. Oh, unlucky. Fred and Donny getting in each other's way there. Long ball. Luke's got that. That's going out for a throw-in. Well done, Luke. Do you know if Varane is on the bench? Yes, he is, Lucas Wade. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. We'll give you a readout. And also, Mark, we talked about squad rotation. Do you think Dalot should have been started today instead of Wan-Bissaka, says Grant? I would have started Dalot over Wan-Bissaka and started Varane. But I wouldn't have started Dalot and Lindelof. I don't want to see more than the changes we've made. I think 3 is enough. Lovely save by De Gea, though. Matt says, people hate on our team just for an opinion. Playing deeper in our half, the Magaluf connections, as Marcus led. Well, yeah, we have played very deep. But got a free kick here. This, I think Ronaldo will hit this. It's a Ronaldo territory free kick. I think he'll have this. No, Bruno wants it. Let's have a look. It's another long ball. Definitely a foul. I see trouble up ahead. I'm looking in the midfield and all I see is Fred. I see trouble. That's my trouble. No, it's double. I see trouble up ahead. I'm looking in the midfield and all I'm going to see is Fred. Fred's on bloody free kicks. What is he talking to him about? Oh my God. It's like me walking into the kitchen when the wife's making the lasagna and giving her advice. I've got no idea. What is Fred doing on free kicks? How can it? What can they be whispering about? Did you see Fever Pitch on BBC Two last night? No, they didn't have subtitles in Spanish or Portuguese or Brazilian. Yeah, but you were born in Stoke. We're having a bit of banter. You got to have a bit of banter. Sancho's touches inside the box are quite disappointing, says Rabbit. I'm not stressed about Sancho at all. Donny. They're on the break again. Good tackle, Donny. Ronaldo playing a bit deeper here. Nice ball. Here we go. Sancho. Go on. Have him on toast. Have him on toast, Jaden. Oh. Pressure, pressure. Keep the pressure on. Keep the pressure on. Tom says, what's happened to Sancho? He does tend to start seasons slow. We can already see the quality of Sancho. He can hold the ball better than our wider players, says Sumya. We could be such a dangerous team with a top coach, says Sam. Hi, Mark. I think sometimes we play to the level of the other team. We drop our standards for the lower teams, but big it up for the good teams. Not always, but hoping to see less of this season, says NMCC. Thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $ if you wish. Nearly 30,000 watching as well. Make sure you share the video. You can do that on Twitter and everything, and give us a smash on like on video as well. We will have player ratings in the second half. It's free to do. You just do it on the website. Every player out of 10, 6 being the average, and then your man of the match. So that's for us to do in the second half. But at the moment, 28 minutes gone. United leading from a world-class assist from Bruno to get Ronaldo his third goal in 2 games. And it is a very, very weird way that United are playing. I mean, we really are hitting long balls, and I just don't know why. I mean, Luke Shaw, I don't know why we're hitting so many long balls. I'm baffled by it. Really baffled by why we can't play through a team. Like, are we going to do this all season? Anytime a team sets up well, we're just going to hit long balls. The thing is, I'm not even opposed to playing long balls if you want to play Greenwood and Rashford on the wing, but we're playing Pogba, Sancho, Bruno, Ronaldo. They're not massive. I mean, Ronaldo's quite quick, but the rest of them aren't. Why are we hitting long balls? And they're not particularly big in the air either. I want to see this. I want to see, development of the ball into the final third. This is better. Donny. Into Fred. Go wide first time, Fred. Fucking left. On the left. Wan-Bissaka, that's a decent cross. Oh, I nearly said Sue. Keeper was quick off his line. That was better. See, when we move the ball quick, we create things. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're nearly at 132,000. We're about 50 away. Bottom right-hand corner, we're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. We've got... Paul Ince comes on, Romano comes on, previews, transfer news. The chart show's coming back as well. This Saturday, it's back. This Saturday morning, the chart show, where we rank every United player 1 to 10 each week based on performance. Will Fred make it in the top 10? Will he heck? Yeah, the top 10 this week will be based upon the Newcastle game and this performance. Top of the Prats? No. Top of the tops. Chart show's coming back. Some people don't even know what the chart show is. Oh, it's backed by popular demand. It's definitely a cult classic. Some people say my singing makes it take the L out and put an N in, but it's definitely different. Physically fit. Fred bullied again. It's so weak. It's so weak, man. Physically fit. I like to move it. Dun 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 dun. Thanks for the super chat, Alpha Gaming. And out of all the CDMs in the world, which one would you have at United? And is there any other positions that you think need upgraded? Out of all the CDMs in the world, I'd probably take most of the CDMs in the world at the moment because we haven't bloody got one. You play long ball so the team drop off and then play through them. They're mixing up the play. Nothing wrong with that, says KMW. Mate, we're not mixing up the play. We've just hit another long ball. We're hitting long balls all the time. Any team with half-decent tactics nullify Ollie's plan A. That being said, not entirely sure what plan A is to start with, Julian. We're definitely not mixing it up. We've hit countless long balls in the first half an hour. I'd be a better CDM, Mark, says Fernando. And what qualities is here we go. Sancho waits for Wan-Bissaka. He can't put it in first time. Defenders tracked back well there, but he's done well there. Wan-Bissaka, he wins the throw-in. Well done. What qualities is it the viewer seeing in Sancho? He's been the worst player on the pitch by a mile. He needs coaching or he will flop, says Biggie third. Good play by Donny here. And Maguire had the far position on the top corner and Lindelof on Shaw's side, but it's still Lindelof that's out of position and Aaron Wan-Bissaka has to tuck in, says Frederick. Fred the Red is clear of Fred. Sub him on, says Click. And what has Donny van der Beek been like, says Jacob? He's been steady. Sancho keep playing to feet, but our players aren't used to him yet and always want the ball ahead of him. Not sure what Donny is meant to be doing, says Fisticuffs. Well, basically what Fred and Donny have been doing is getting the ball, passing it to Maguire and Lindelof, who hit it long. I want to see this. Progressive. See, Donny, it's again, we're trying to hit a long ball. Very weird. Fred goes back to De Gea. Mark, has anyone ever told you that you look like Ollie? No. Well, probably. I've looked like everybody on the 6 years have been doing this. Ed Woodward, Rooney, Ollie, DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Chris Evans, Boris Johnson. I've had it all. Fred's been awesome, says K1. I'd love to have that sort of positivity in my life. Oh, Wan-Bissaka. Mate, I think you might be overreacting a little bit here. He's red. Oh, get off! Get off! Get off! He's bloody mugged you off there. What a bloody joke. Red card for Wan-Bissaka. You've been mugged off, ref. You've been mugged off. That ain't a red. He's gone for the bloody ball. That's not a red. He's gone for the ball. That is just where you stretch for the ball and you catch them with your studs. That's not a red. Swivel on that. That's not a red. And look, we're all watching it. He's gone to poke the ball with his toe. It's not a red. That is a bloody disgrace. That's a slow motion red. It's never a red. Never a red. Refs bought the players moaning. Refs just reacted to the moaning. That's a joke. Absolute joke. Goes for the ball. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of this. Referees fucking up the game because they don't know how to play the game. It just pisses me off. He'll be up in a minute. I'll tell you what, if he goes off with a broken ankle, right, okay, I'll apologise, but he'll be up in a minute. That's just a tackle. It's just a tackle that has caught him. It's not a red. He's up on his bloody feet, man. He's up on his bloody feet. He's rolling round like he wants a bloody Oscar. There's nothing bloody wrong with him. That's a fucking joke. I told you, I've watched football for over 30 years. Look at him. He's gone on the floor like his bloody leg's been snapped. He's there doing bloody little bunny hops now. There's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with him. It's not a bloody red card. He's caught a tackle a little bit late. It happens. It's a contact sport. And now Jadon Sancho's been subbed. Bloody knobhead of a ref. What a bloody idiot. I tell you what, I'm not even going to look at the chat because I know what people are going to be saying. I've watched football for over 30 years, never a red card. He's stretched to get the ball with his toe and he's caught the bottom of his studs. And people will say studs up. You've never played the bloody game in your life, studs up. That's not a studs up tackle. He's caught his studs. And there's nothing bloody wrong with him. I knew there was nothing wrong with him. You can tell there's nothing wrong with him because he's doing more rollovers than a bread roll. What a bloody joke. And they've nearly just scored now as well. Oh. The game's becoming a joke. It's becoming an absolute joke. Basically, what we're encouraging players now to do is if you feel a bit of contact, go down like you've been bloody, I nearly said the wrong word there. Go down like you've been shot, moan a bit. When you see the red card, get up and carry on. It's just play acting. You've just seen a red card for somebody getting kicked on the ankle. Well, whoop-de-doo. Football's not played in slow motion. I've said this many times before. You don't play football in slow motion. You play it in real life, in real speed. It's his ball to go, and he's got to go for that ball. I've said this before when the Leeds lad got sent off against Man City last year, and when I think it was John Stones got sent off against Villa. There are certain times where a defender's got to go for the ball, and how can it be reckless when you've got to go for it? Unless you've got your feet up in the air and you're trying to break their legs, you're gonna get impact. It's not an out of control tackle. It's not reckless. It's a genuine attempt to win the ball. And when you take your foot off what makes me laugh about studs is when you take your foot off the floor, your studs are exposed. There are many ways that people are going to get your studs. He's gone underneath Wan-Bissaka's foot when it's raised. That's not Wan-Bissaka's fault. It's a joke, absolute joke of a decision. So we're down to 10 men now. You've got the lineup on the screen. Delo's on at right back, and obviously Sancho's come off. Welcome to the Members Club, Selv. And just because you've watched football for 30 years doesn't mean you know football. Clear red. Mate, just because you've spent £4.50 doesn't mean you're not talking out your arse. And if that lad scores, I'm going to break something, says Lucas Wade. He's a play actor, mate. You know what? I didn't want to say it when I first saw it, because if he'd have gone off with a big bandage on his leg, I'd have looked a bit harsh. But I thought he was faking as soon as he started rolling around. You know when you've broken your leg, you don't start going, oh, just nah. The referees are sending people off now because of how the victim reacts. His heel was on the ground when he made the tackle. You can't play the game with your whole foot flat on the ground. Exactly, Andrew. I saw it in real time. I saw it in slow-mo. What he tries to do is he tries to toe end the ball. He's trying to knock the ball over the player so that he can run onto it. Well, you can't do that by keeping your foot on the ground. You didn't have to go for the ball. They were in their own half. It was rash, clumsy and stupid. Yeah, but you're just somebody who doesn't like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of which we have got some of those people in our fan base who will probably be calling him all names under the sun because you're a disgrace. Kobe says, the BT Sports commentator just said that Wan-Bissaka doesn't understand the art of tackling. Absolutely deluded. Well, if the commentator said that, they shouldn't be commentating because... that's a farce. Never a red, but this is why they wanted to buy Trippier, says Curry. Mark, their player did that to us. You'd say it was a red. No, I wouldn't, Jacob. And that guy was doing the challenge from TikTok, says Jack Davis Rice. And I think it's 100% a yellow, but no way a red, says Jace. How's a 50-50 ball a red, says Marky. Yeah. He's been sent. You know what? If the player had just gone, ooh, and played the game the way it should be played, it wouldn't have even got a yellow. It's because he started rolling around. But it is what it is. We've got to move on. But it's never a red for me, not in a million years. Makes it interesting though, the game. I love these sort of comments. I like Wan-Bissaka, but it's definitely a red, mate. You're trying to make me think, oh, it's a red. You're an idiot. Absolute idiot. If you think that's a red card, go and play netball. That's a non-contact sport. If that was a red, then the game is gone, says Vero. Well, it has gone, isn't it? It has gone. That shouldn't have been a red, at least a yellow, but positivity-wise, Van der Beek looks good in the 6th role, says James. And it's an ankle breaker. His own fault with such an awful touch. He's a terrible footballer most games. How's it an ankle breaker, Stephen, when he didn't break his ankle? He dived. It's not an ankle breaker. I'll tell you what, Stephen, you get a five-a-side team. I'll have a five-a-side team. I'll show you what's not a foul and what is a foul, because you need to go and play netballers too. You can play goal attack and the other prat can play centre. Anyone else want to play wing? No idea, have you? Got no idea of what playing football's all about. What do you think people do? Pass and then move like Sabutio pieces. There's things called momentum. There's things called your foot's off the ground. You know, somebody could break their leg just by having a genuine tackle. It's a physical sport. These things can happen, but we're sending people off now because, oh, someone wants to roll around on the floor. Anyway, 3 minutes to go to half time. United are going to have their work cut out here. Looks like we have to defend for our lives now, says Luke. I'd bring Varane on. I think he'll take Donny off. It looks a bit stressed, Ollie, here. Well, match reaction is going to be very interesting, isn't it? Were you surprised it was Sancho and not Donny, says S. Ahmed? No, it was always going to be. I always hate that when there's a red card, because you lose a player that I think it was an important game for Jayden. I think that's a real shame for Jayden, really. If anyone in this chat did that challenge, they would be fuming to get sent off. Never a red card, only in slow motion. It looks bad, says Ethan, TJK. Zane's laughing. But Zane, what are you laughing about? We're winning 1-0. We're in the Champions League and you've got the week off. You're not even in the Conference League, whatever it's called. He might take Donny off and bring on Matic at some point, you know. But Bruno's had to sort of go to right now. It was a red, in my opinion. You and some others may think otherwise. It's all about a difference of opinion. I respect your opinion, says Sumya. I don't respect your opinion, Sumya. I don't. Sorry. I don't have to respect everybody's opinion because I've got my own opinion, and I do respect a lot of opinions, but I don't respect that opinion because it goes totally against what my principles are. I don't think that's a red card. I don't care whether it's a Liverpool player. I don't think it was a red card against Elliott at the weekend either. I don't. I know it was a very bad injury, and I hope he ends up getting back better soon. I don't think that was a red card. I don't think it was a red card for Cooper last year for Leicester. I don't think it was a red card for John Stones against Villa. I think we're seeing too many red cards now. And I don't, obviously red tinted glasses. I am biased for United, but I think we're seeing too many red cards that are not red cards these days. And I think people are getting lost in this whole, oh, the player's rolling around on the floor crying, therefore it must be a red card. Like, people get hurt playing football. You get hurt playing football. It's football. Your feet are flying around all the time, aren't they? There's a yellow card for them. Let's put it in slow mo because it could be a leg breaker. Might be a leg breaker. This. Let's have a look. Oh, they don't want to show us in slow mo for this one. Let's have a look. That's the same tackle. That is the same tackle. That is absolutely the same tackle. He's stood up and he catches Fred in a different place. But that's what I mean. It's the same type of tackle. Yellow card for the same tackle. Bloody joke. Absolute joke. I mean, this is what I mean. There's no consistency. Because Fred doesn't roll around like he's been shot, it's the same thing. His foot's up off the ground and he goes in to try and win the ball. It's the same type of tackle. Half time. Oh, what a joke. What an absolute joke. Football, doesn't half generate opinion. I suppose that's what it's all about. Let's get into the opinion then. I'm going to love half time. Let me just put the tweet out. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And we will have player ratings in the second half. But United down to 10 men here. Aaron Wan-Bissaka sent off. Jadon Sancho's had to be substituted so Delo can come on at right back. And it's 1-0 to United. Let's talk about the half. What an amazing assist by Bruno Fernandes to make it 1-0. And boy, did we need it. I mean, story of the half for me, before we talk about that red card incident, the story of the half for me is that take away that moment of individual brilliance from Bruno and then the finish by Ronaldo. We're 0-0 with 10 men or 11 men. We've hit countless long balls I don't understand. The tempo has been odd, like moving the ball side to side to hit it long, deeper line because we're playing Lindelof, just a bit like Man United from last year. And really, apart from the goal, Ronaldo's in the graveyard shift. He's not had a lot going on around him. And even before the red card, you've got Sancho, you've got Pogba, you've got Bruno, you've got Van der Beek, you've got Ronaldo, and we just haven't moved that ball into the final third anywhere near enough. Very odd tactics. Maybe Ollie's looked at it and gone, let's just keep a clean sheet and nick a result, but not very progressive, not very high tempo, not much going on, and then obviously the red card. Even Elliot said it shouldn't be a red. He said it was a good tackle. It's the same situation here. That was just a stupid decision by the referee, says Christ. Well, I'm going to see it again in a minute, so I will have another look. Wabi's the most underrated player we have, plays week in, week out, does his job, doesn't get spoken about much by the media because he doesn't make that many mistakes. Class player, says Chris. Got the ball and break leg. It still won't be a red, says Druv. And there's a difference with a studs-up tackle like Xhaka. No way a red for Wan-Bissaka. Too many players wanting Oscar awards for their acting. Soft. I mean, look, we saw Xhaka's the other day. That was a red because he was off the ground, and that's a reckless tackle. But if you're going to bring something to the conversation, clear red's not it, and I'm not going to read you out for that. So, and I'm not going to acknowledge it. My opinion on that was that he went to get the ball. He's tried to poke the ball past the player, so his foot's off the ground a bit, and the player has put his foot in the way of where Wan-Bissaka's foot is. There has been connection with the studs, but it's not a studs-up tackle. It's not a dangerous tackle. It's not a reckless tackle. It's a genuine attempt to get the ball in a 50-50 where players, if Bruno goes to kick the ball in the second half and the ball gets moved out the way at the last minute and he ends up kicking the player on the back of their knee and they break their leg, that's not a red card. That's a genuine attempt to swing and volley the ball and the player's moved it before. It's a foul. It's not a red card. We're giving red cards now because of the result of something, not because of the intent, not because whether it's reckless. We are giving red. I mean, look, right at the end of the half there, the player for the Swiss side puts his foot up and leaves it in on Fred, and it's a yellow card. Now, it catches the side of Fred's foot. If Fred's foot's 2 inches over and it catches him on the ankle, Fred probably goes down, and is that an ankle breaker? It's not a red card, but it would have been if he'd have made more connection and Fred had rolled around like he's broke his ankle. That's what I'm saying here. I don't care whether it's Wan-Bissaka. I don't care whether it's Harvey Elliott's situation. I don't care whether it's John Stones last year, Cooper for Leeds against Man City when he did it on Jesus. We're sending people off because of how loud the player screams. Now, in Harvey Elliott's case, he screamed a lot because he'd broken his bloody ankle. But I still don't think it was a red. And I certainly don't think that's a red there. That player there has, whatever anybody says, he deserves an Oscar. He's rolled around like he's broken his leg. And as soon as the red card's off, he's up. Oh, I feel fine. He knows he feels fine. It's play acting and it's thick refereeing. And I'm sorry to say, those people who are saying it's a red card, actually, they're right. Because in the modern game, we're going to see more and more of this. And we're going to see more and more acting, and we're going to see more and more people getting tackled and pretending they've broken their ankle to get somebody sent off. Because if you get somebody sent off, it's a massive advantage. So I think, I think those people who are saying clear red, they're probably right, because this is what is being given as a red card now. Should it be a red card decision? Not for me. Ollie should get Lindelof instead of Delo for Sancho and got Varane on. He is quicker, can cover more ground, centre back and right wing while Sancho gets up the park. That's from Matteo. Varane needs to come on ASAP. Fred, I'd give him 20 minutes, then sub him off. Football has gone soft, but what on earth was Aaron Wan-Bissaka thinking? Well, I'm waiting to see it again. Ivano says, I understand your opinion, but you can't call people stupid or disgraceful because their opinions differ. You always say you should respect others' opinion regardless if they're right. Now show more respect. No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to. I'm sorry, I'm not. This is a This is not BT. This is not Sky Sports. This is a fan channel. It's done by fans. And if you want bloody Jake Humphries, go and watch BT. I do it my way, as do other channels, and it's about fan opinion. And I think at the end of the day, I wear my heart on my sleeve and I say what I think when I get passionate about something. That should not be a red card to me. If you want respect, go and watch BT. You're not going to get that in this situation where I don't respect your opinion if you think it's a red card. I don't, because I don't agree with it. So why should I respect it? I don't agree with it. I can be polite about it and say, well, you know, you think it's a red, well done, but not going to go any more than that. Varane needs to come on ASAP, says Sam. Well, here we go. Well, no, we're going to see the goal first, and then we'll go that. Will Aaron Wan-Bissaka miss EPL matches? No. Of course he won't. It's Champions League. How much do you think you will take it, Sancho, the form of Dortmund, says Adash? Well, I feel sorry for Sancho having to come off, actually, but it is one of those. But look, watch this ball by Bruno. He takes out... Oh, it's just eye of a needle passing. It really is. Eye of the needle. And you know, Ronaldo, again, it's not a clean finish, but it still finds its way into the back of the net, through the legs of the keeper. Always hard to save. But that pass by Bruno Fernandes is absolutely delightful. It's absolutely delightful from Bruno. Can the red be disputed? No. UEFA are crap for that sort of thing. I remember Fletcher missing the final. Was it 2009? Never. It was never a yellow or a red or whatever it was. Anyway, we're going to see this again now. I don't think it's going to change anybody's opinion because I know the world is full of trolls and idiots. So lots of people will be saying it's a red because of that. But no United fan is going to say this is a red. He's got every right to go for the ball. He tries to poke the ball and he catches the player on the way through. And again, we're seeing it in slow-mo. There's no point. There's no point me seeing this. He tries to get the ball and he catches the player. Look at him. Arm in the air like he's broke his bloody leg. Not a red. It's not a red, but you're seeing it in slow motion. I understand why you're going to say a red. It's not a red for me. Not a red for me. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Unfair red card, but 10 men is not a death sentence. We're Manchester United. If the team remain calm, we should be fine, says Tuscan. Well, I think in this situation, it's really, really interesting because if this was Manchester City or Liverpool, I still think they would go on and win the game 3 or 4-0 because it's young boys against Manchester United. But I think that comes down to, and I need to talk about that in the match reaction, red reaction. That's a good name for a show, actually. I think it's a good point to make because if that is Man City or Liverpool, I fully expect them to go on and win the game even down to 10 men. But that's because of the way they play football. We know the way Liverpool play football, and we know the way Manchester City play football, and it's progressive. It's moving the ball forward. We didn't see that when we had 11 men. So I don't think we're going to see United go and win this game 3 or 4-0. I hope we do, but I think we're going to see United hitting more long balls, playing more side-to-side passes. I think Ollie will be saying to them at the half-time, keep it simple, and don't do anything too risky. And then if I was Maguire, I'd say what, like we did before, we had Aaron sent off. So, but it's an opportunity for Delo. I do quite like that. I mean, no, I did say we should have started Delo. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka seemed a bit off the pace. Red is very harsh. Really like what Donny's doing, says David Mill. I hope he keeps Donny on. I really hope he keeps Donny on because I think he might start thinking, oh, I don't like Donny in there. Let's get Matic on. Van der Beek showing his defensive awareness better than Fred. I mean, it's interesting. What do you think about Donny van der Beek in that half? I think Donny van der Beek has played well in that game. His stats are on the screen there. 31 touches, 23 passes, 92% pass rate. No chances created. Obviously, you're not really going to see that from that position. You can be as passionate as you like. Not going to read that out. Thanks, Pieface. Van der Beek showing his defensive awareness better than Fred. The Oscars are in March, but I think we have a strong contender to be the best male actor of the year. Welcome to the Members Club, Angie Proctor. Thank you very much. Put your glasses on, Mark. It's a clear red. Oh, yeah. I forgot to put them on. Show it again. Look, I'm not talking about it anymore. I've done this on That's Football before. We've had 5 or 10 minutes talking about a red card. It's gone. He's got a red card. You know, I'll probably go on about things longer than most people. I accept that. But he's had the red card. We've got to deal with it now. It's not going to get changed. It's not going to get rescinded. He's not going to be allowed back on the pitch in the second half. We've got to deal with it. Most interceptions made by any player on that half. Donny, the future number 6, Van der Beek, says Mario Franco. In relation to Donny, for me, I've not been blown away, but I've certainly not been upset by it. I think he's played decent. You've got to remember, and somebody said it before the game, and I respect it, that he hasn't played much football for a very long time. So when he's playing football now, it might, if he's playing like that after no time, what might he play like after 6, 7, 8, 9 games? So interesting. Very interesting. Let's see how he builds out. Mark, imagine Donny with a run of games. Exactly, King Royal Media. He can only get more comfortable and better with the squad. And that's the takeaway for me. Donny's had an understated performance. He's dragged players about with movement going forward and block passing lanes while defending. He's had a better game than Fred. And his interceptions have been, he's been stronger. I mean, I tweeted it actually just before the red card. Fred's been knocked off the ball. You know, I can't remember the last time he won a 50-50. This has been going on for a long time. Southampton, Wolves, again today. He seems to have lost any physicality in a 50-50 tackle. Welcome to Members Club, Connor. Fred is the most useless CDM I've ever seen. He tackles thin air. He's been bullied by young boys like a toddler trying to snatch food off his 15-year-old stepbrother, says Arnold. Thank you very much for the super chats. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. We were very close to 132,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. You're all very, very welcome on the chat. It certainly gets a bit heated at times, but that's football. In fact, no, that's the other channel. You can tune in on That's Football later, actually, because we've got a double watch-along for Chelsea, Zenit, and Bayern, Barcelona. So busy night tonight. That's football for that. Also got player ratings in the second half and my match reaction afterwards, where we'll talk about everything from the game and do the player ratings. What do you think of Donny's performance in the first half? Personally, I don't think he suits Man United's play style, says Nathan. And Abdo, thanks for the super chat. You know what? I think that's a very good point from Nathan. You know, he doesn't suit that style of play. Pogba doesn't suit that style of play. Sancho doesn't suit that style of play. We're basically bypassing them with long ball. We're not getting the best out of Pogba, Sancho, Van der Beek, Donny. They're wasted in that system. And that's the bottom line. We're only winning that game because of individual brilliance. I mean, Gwydion says that Pogba's having a mare. I think Pogba's been quiet. I think Sancho's been quiet. The only reason Donny's not been quiet is because he's been playing as a number 8. If Pogba had been there, he'd been on the ball more. We're not playing very, very good football. And that's why Pogba's been a bit quiet. Do I like apple juice? Yes, I do like apple juice. And my grandma has more strength than Fred, says Tyron. So does mine. Rest in peace. Varane is coming on. Wait and see who for. He might take Donny off. Imagine if he takes Donny off at half time. Do you think we should bring Varane on now, says Sumya? And how is Donny meant to flourish in this system? It's the same patterns over and over. Maguire makes that stupid over-the-top pass to Shaw over and over, says Nate. If you've noticed, Fred doesn't sit in the CDM position while we attack, so it doesn't allow our 4 creative players to build play, says Gabriel Noel. Donny's off. Oh, fucking hell. You're joking. You're joking me. I cannot believe he subbed Donny for Varane. Oh, fucking fuming. I don't even know how to react to that. That is absolutely disgraceful. Not in relation to the game. We'll probably win the game, but the bigger picture, that is an absolute disgrace. That is shocking. That is. He's been better than Fred in that half. I don't even want to start throwing things about. It's just so unfair. He's been better. Fred's been shit in that half. In the same position. Like, they played the same position and he's been total crap all season. Donny comes in, looks quite good and gets subbed for Varane. I mean, He may as well. He should have let him go to Everton. That is absolutely shocking from Ollie. And look, I hope Ollie does really well. I'm not Ollie out, but that is poor. That is really poor. That is unfair. We've just spent 5 minutes talking about how Donny's done well. He's not played for a while. He's doing well. He's been more progressive. He's been stronger in the tackle. And he takes him off to keep Fred on the pitch. I just feel gutted. I feel absolutely, I feel sad. That's what I do. I don't feel angry. I feel really sad. I just don't get that. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. That's so unfair. So unfair. It's just unfair at this point. It really is. Uh, 27, 28, 29, 30. I don't really have words, everybody. I really don't really have any words for it. I'm absolutely disgusted by that. But not, the thing is, I said this in the summer. He doesn't rate Donny. He just doesn't rate him. He's picked him today because it's young boys, and he's thought, I'll just give him. It's, you know what it is? It's sympathy minutes. That's what it is. It's sympathy minutes, and he should have just took Lindelof off. We've gone to a back five. Is this the plan now? I tell you what, that's what terrifies me. Is this the future? A back five? Oh, I just feel sick. I'm fed up. I'm fed up of this. I'm just fed up of this fuzzy thinking, but it's not fuzzy thinking. Fred and Pogba will work better than Donny and Pogba, unfortunately, do not like Fred, says Ronnie. And Mark, it's great to see you stick so firmly to your opinion and what you believe in. It's inspiring. People hating on it should just let it be. You and Mark. Thank you, says Anos. How can you watch Fred and think, yes, more of this? In the second half, I know you're not Ollie out, but make it make sense, as Justice said. Well, you can't be Ollie out because it's an exciting season. You've got a world-class Varane. You've got one of the best players in the world in Ronaldo. I think Sancho's a good signing. But just be honest. To be honest with you, I feel the fans have just been played with. Like, Van der Beek should have gone to Everton. And then we know he doesn't like him, and we know he's gone. He's played with the fans, and he's played with Donny, basically. He said you're part of my plans, and he's not part of his plans, because if he was part of his plans, you wouldn't take him off, because he was better than Fred in the same position, and he keeps Fred on. So it might be an overreaction, but I've never thought Ollie would win us any major trophies. But this treatment of Donny is too much. I want Ollie out ASAP, says Sean Turner. The thing is, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. Like, this is different now because he's actually played well in that first half. He doesn't deserve to be subbed off for that performance. He was one of the better players in a position where he doesn't need to be subbed off. Sancho going off is harsh, but you need to take an attacker off when you're down to 10 men. You don't take off your best midfielder. And, Pogba's gone into the midfield now because that's who we're going to play on Saturday. But he's got no chance. He's got absolutely no future at Manchester United. If he's being taken off and he'd rather keep Fred on, and McTominay's coming back, and Pogba's going in the midfield, and Matic has been rested, he's the fifth choice midfielder. He's got absolutely no future at this football club, which is why he should have been allowed to go to Everton. His career has been put in the bin by Ollie and the coaches, and it's not fair and it's not right. And look, as United fans, we support the club, we support the manager, and we want to do well, and let's hope that we do. But I'm not going to not call out that is really unfair treatment on a player that actually was one of the bright sparks, and I was actually quite enjoying him play. And considering he's not played any football really in a year, to take him off after 45 minutes is just really unfair. But what can you do? It might be an overreaction. Come on, Mark, stop it. Can you imagine the Donny Pogba midfield? Who's going to defend? Stop saying it's not fair. Ollie knows better than us. But we didn't need to go to a back five, man. What are you talking about again? I'm not going to respect that opinion. Not going to respect that opinion because you're not thinking it through. What are you talking about? Pogba and Donny in midfield. We didn't need to take a midfielder off. We don't need to go to a back five. Just take Lindelof off and bring Varane on. But he won't take Lindelof off, will he? Because he's bloody related to him or something. Like, why do we need to go to a back five? He obviously is worried about Lindelof, so he's gone to a back five. Just take fucking Lindelof off. Bring Varane on and keep the same as we were. Keep Varane, Maguire, Donny and Fred, Bruno to the right, Pogba to the left. Just keep it like that. Donny's a better player than Fred by miles, yet Olive refuses to him. It just doesn't make sense, as Elliot. Brad Lewis, Mark, I think Ollie has a very basic style of play. I want him to succeed and back him, but he will always choose Fred over Donny van der Beek. He is a crap manager with a horrible style of play. Mark, why didn't ref check VAR to see it wasn't a red? I think VAR probably checked it and said you don't need to check it, to be honest with you. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in, by the way, as well. It's turning into a horrible game, isn't it, actually? Lots of excitement around United in this game for three reasons. Has been horrible. We've had the red card, we've had Donny having to come off, and we've had some really shit style of football again. I just think Fred is such a bad player at the moment as well. I do think there's a good player there, but he's so crap. To be honest, I hope the young boys have us on the ropes for the rest of the game so that Ollie and even Ronaldo can see the absolute bottle job of a sub, says Jay. And Bruno kept it in and Fred hoofed it up the pitch. I nearly kicked the cat up the arse, says David Mills. Well, could be in for a long second half here. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I think it's going to be a very interesting match reaction and fan forum tonight. What I don't understand is why Fred is so protected by the media. Surely everyone can see how bad he is, says Paraz. I think it's because he's English. You know, if he was a foreign player, then they'd be in on him, wouldn't they? They go in on Pogba, they go in on Martial, they go in on Bruno, they go in on De Gea, but they never go in on the English players, do they? Fred's from Stoke, that's why I'm saying that. Here's Ronaldo. People saying Fred's Brazilian. Too many similarities as last year. Ollie just won't change and sticks with his favourites. I wanted Ollie to do well, but I think Ollie needs to go. He ain't going anywhere, Ross. I'm not even wasting any... I'm not even going to start thinking a little bit, do I want Ollie out? Because it's not going to happen. Have you seen the squad? He's here for another 3 years, whether you like it or not. We cannot not finish in the top four. And the Glazers only sack managers who want in the top four. We have got Ollie as our coach for a very, very long time. Can you shout out Marcelino and Adela from Australia, says and I'm surprised Ronaldo didn't pipe up when someone's gone, let's do a back five. Well, I don't know what people are talking about, ML. Ronaldo's not going to be the manager of this team. Fred's playing well, says Splash. Can I watch it on your channel? Because my channel is playing shit. Can I watch it on your channel? Do people get different games then in different on different channels? Because I'm watching on BT and he's absolutely shit on mine. Cross comes in, Varane out. I mean, look at Varane. I mean, to be fair, look at Varane next to Lindelof. It really is like a man against a boy. Look at Varane next to Lindelof. It's like Tyson Fury up against... It's Ronaldo! Go on, Ronaldo! No, he's not going to give a penalty for that. He wants one. He's not going to get it. I always back Ollie, but his treatment of Donny is pathetic. He's losing my respect over playing players, not using his squad and those damn favourites, says Vicky. But it is. Look at Varane next to Lindelof. It's like Tyson Fury standing next to Bilbo Baggins. Ollie's man management skills disappear when it comes to Donny, and those skills won't help us win his shit tactics, says damn it. Well, look how tucked in Delo is again. Why is Delo so close to fucking Lindelof there? Leave him. It's not a bloody charity case. Let him bloody defend himself. Delo, even in a back five, Delo was coming close to Lindelof than he was his man. What the fuck is it about Lindelof and right backs? Has he got some magnet in his pocket? Does he go and sew something into the right back's shorts and then, magnets and pulls them in? Back five and Delo's nearly next to Lindelof. I don't know what Lindelof's actually doing because it's Varane and Maguire marking their two forwards. That's it. Pick up your man. Oh, you know what? We know what terrifies me. We might start seeing a back five. Few people mentioned it in the summer. I bet this is going to be the beginning of the back five. It's just funny. I was looking at my tweet there, and a few people are saying, "No, it was right decision to take Donny off because Donny and Pogba in the midfield is lunacy." But again, I'm sort of like lost in my own thoughts here. Why did we need to go to back five? Like, why when you're down to 10 men do you have to go to a back five? Why can't you play with a back four? Like, why does every team that has a man sent off go to a back five? We didn't need to go to a back five. We didn't need to take Fred or Donny off. We just didn't need to go to a back five. If you wanted to improve his defense, just take Lindelof off and put. This is why you bought a world-class centre back. We don't need a back five with Varane. We don't need three centre backs with Varane. He's never played in a back five, as far as I know. He's one of the world's. The whole point of having one of the world's best centre backs is that you don't need to play a back five. And also, Varane's whole career is not playing in a back five. Whether it's France or Real Madrid, he's always played in a two. So why buy one of the world's best centre backs and then play a back five? We didn't need to go to a back five. People are saying, well, I'd rather have Fred with Pogba than Donny with Pogba. I get that. But we didn't need to do that. We could have kept it how it was. We didn't need to go to a back five. We're inviting the pressure with a back five. He's gone ultra defensive. And as I said at half time, if Man City were playing young boys and they were down to 10 men, they'd still win the second half 3 or 4-0 because it's young boys and it's Man City and they trust the way they play. We've just basically gone, shit, we're 1-0 up against 10 men. Let's park the bus. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Robert McCormack says, did you not see how many shots we conceded first half? Yeah, take Lindelof off for Varane. That's what I'm saying. Go to a back four. That's what I'm saying. That's my opinion. We didn't need to go to a back five. What has going to a back five changed about this half compared to the first half? Because all I'm saying is the same thing. They're dominant. They're doing exactly what they did in the first half. There's no change. He's just tried to go very defensive. If we play like this against Villarreal or Atalanta, we'll struggle to get out of the group, says David Brannigan. Well, that's why we need to win. Anor says, Fred with the shirt pulling and stuff is only as effective as a flashbang, only blinds and distracts opponents. United need dynamite at CDM. If anyone rather Fred and Pogba over Van der Beek and Pogba, then they don't value keeping possession. Fred and Lindelof should have been subbed off, says Gabriel Noel. Ali's just putting on a back five to protect Fred. No clue why Fred's still on when Donny can play a solo midfield when Ajax went to 10 men. Refs are jokes, says Fergus. I tell you what I think we have seen today. You can have Varane, maybe not Varane. You can have Sancho and Ronaldo in your team and still play shit. We said this last season. You could have Ronaldo up front, you could have Messi up front, you could have Neymar as your front three. But if you don't move the ball quickly and you play slow tempo, side to side, long ball football, you'll still be a shit team. You've got to have a plan. You've got to create chances. Nice play by Delo. I just hope we can get the 3 points. Hard watch so far. Louis Webber says it's the right approach. They won't go. They could play for 5 hours and they won't score against the back five. Louis Webber's his name. Remember it. Nice little ball in there. Good play by Luke Shaw. He's had a good game defensively. Goal kick. I mean, the positive thing so far is that they haven't really tested De Gea apart from that long shot. Remember, we're sponsored by Boohoo Man today. Boohoo Man Active. I'm wearing some of their clobber. 40% off exclusive to you, United Stand viewers, using the code United Stand on checkout. All one word. Boohoo Man, 40% off on their active range. Some fantastic stuff there. I do all my gym stuff in there. And yes, I do some gym stuff. You know, I do. Some fantastic stuff. Thanks to Boohoo Man. Take Ronaldo off. To be honest, I think he's not really learning anything in this game, Ronaldo, is he? But he's one of the world's best players. You're just hoping he gets something on the break. But yeah, it's a lot of running around. There's not a lot of patterns or chemistry being used, is there? I suppose some people would say it's been a good thing. A game like this is a good thing because it's a bit of a reality bite. You know, back to reality that, you know, we're not necessarily going to blow teams away. I think it's safe to say that it's the tactics that are letting us down. Bar Fred, we have quality players in almost every position, says Ami. And Ollie should be fired for his treatment of Donny. It's bullying at this point and intentionally ruining someone's career. Totally unprofessional. That was from Julian. And Sean says, Ollie has just shown his level as a coach tonight. We are playing young boys, not PSG. Taking Sancho and Donny off for defenders, just inviting the pressure. Well, you know what? Look what happened to Gareth Southgate last week with Poland. He did exactly the same thing. It was a very similar performance, a very pragmatic, boring performance. He got a moment of individual brilliance from Harry Kane and he thought he'd done it. And then right at the end, they got an equaliser and everyone said, well, that's what you deserve, Gareth, for the way that you played football. Hopefully that's not going to happen. He's deep in conversation with McKenna and Carrick. You get the feeling with, I don't know. Well, I sort of do know. I have been told this a couple of times. McKenna is the main tactical guy at United. I mean, this is a guy who was part of the youth setup 3 years ago. And he is the main tactical guy at United, for good or for bad. Even with almost all the pieces complete, Ollie still can't find the team's identity. It's just sad, but we can only hope his eyes will be open someday, says Jay. Mark, I think even the team doesn't fancy Van der Beek. There were many times when Van der Beek wanted the ball, but he didn't get it. The team and Ollie are bullying him, says Varun. Wan-Bissaka is good at defending, but he's shit going forward. He can't grow. Blah, blah, blah. Thanks, J Raj. It's really useful conversation to get back into, isn't it? Ollie is just, so basically, to be fair to J Raj, he's just saying Wan-Bissaka's shit. Ollie has just shown his level, which I totally disagree with and I'm quite bored of. Ollie has just shown his level as a coach tonight. We're playing young. I've done that one from Sean Turner. Thank you very much for the super chats. There is a watch along on That's Football. What does that mean? It's like Beyonce. If you feel like it, then you better put a thing on it. If you like it, then you better put a ring on it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yellow card for De Gea now. That's the most aggressive Fred's been all game, arguing with the ref. The ref's crap, though. The ref is crap. I care more about Manchester United winning than I do about Van der Beek's feelings. Call me crazy, says Jimmy Garner. So, well, it's an opinion, Jimmy. Well done. Ollie is coaching like he's coaching young boys. If you're a team of young boys caliber and was sent off, then you play a back five. But a team with the talent we have, pathetic. Hopefully we get 3 points, says Aidan Lefevre. And I think we're being harsh. Back five makes sense since we've got 10 men and we're ahead. Taking Van der Beek off also made sense. His best feats are going forward. Fisticuffs. But I think the argument back, fisticuffs, is that his defensive play was better than Fred. And he said himself that he can play as a 6 and an 8, and he was better. He was playing better as a 6 than Fred was. Like, Fred can't win a tackle. So you're basically telling us that, yeah, keep Fred on for his defensive capabilities, and when his defensive capabilities have been that of a corpse for the last 3 games. So it doesn't actually make sense. You're being stereotypical. You're saying, well, Donny can't defend because he's an attacking player and Fred's a defensive player. But when has Fred proved that he's a defensive player, especially recently? You know, Pogba's been very quiet since he's gone back into the midfield with Fred. It's like Wolves all over again. So, you know, people are acting like Fred and Pogba are some sort of dream team midfield combo. I thought Donny was doing a good job. I don't think he should have been brought off. Ref has not been great, no. Yeah, but we need, the most important thing, as somebody was saying, is that we get the 3 points, because it just shows you that you could end up getting into these sort of situations. And, you know, this isn't the easiest game of the 6 we've got to play. Young Boys at home is the easiest game, but it's certainly a game where you've got to take 6 points. You'd expect Atalanta and Villarreal to do that. And there's the goal. There's the goal. Simple as that. I bloody told you. Concrete bloody swimming pants. Sinking. Park the bloody bus. Parking the bus. Unbelievable. It's not unbelievable. It's Gareth Southgate Mark II, isn't it? Individual brilliance and vibes. Like, why are we parking the bus? Why are we going to a back 5 against a team like this? Cross comes in. Varane loses his man. I think it's it's just, I don't even know what happens here. It deflects off Luke Shaw and he gets there ahead of Varane. It's what happens when you park the bus. Concrete swimming pants. That's what the back 4 are wearing there, because they're slow. Oh. All over us now. Should have kept the back 4 and tried to play more progressive. City or Liverpool would go on and win this. I said this at half time, and I hate it being right in situations like this. Said it at half time. Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, who are apparently our rivals, if they went down to 10 men when they're 1-0 up, they wouldn't park the bus. Pep would go, I trust my players to move the ball around in the style of play that we play and keep creating chances, because, yeah, they've got an extra player, but we're better than them. And Klopp would do the same. They wouldn't. Could you imagine Pep Guardiola being 1-0 down away to Young Boys and going, let's take a midfielder off and go to a back 5? Never in a million years. Would Klopp do it? Never in a million years. They wouldn't do it, because it's Young Boys and we're a Premier League side. They wouldn't do it. And he's just parked the bus and gone to a back 5 against the team. They've got nothing to lose. I've just tweeted it there. You don't go to a back 5 at half time when you're down to 10 men against a team that's got nothing to lose. We're just inviting them to attack. You need the best form of defense is attack. We'll lose this. Ollie out. I never said it, but now it's enough, says DLZ. There's 10 points for me. We've got no possession because we have Fred and Lindelof on. Now this mid-tier manager has thrown more Champions League points too, says Gabriel Noel. You have a team that can win leagues, but a manager who belongs in mid-table. Even as a Chelsea player, I can see your players deserves better, says Ross. Ollie's fault. Knew it was coming. He isn't good enough on the big stage. It's no fluke that we bottled semis and lost in the semi. Conte or Zidane, please, says Sean Turner. That's it. I'm tired of Ollie not having the balls to play attacking football. He cannot have our team drop out of the group stages 2 years in a row, says Raul. I get you, Mark, but that's on Ollie more than anything else. We haven't got good coaching, good enough to attack with 10 men, unlike Pep and Klopp. No, I do. I agree with you, fisticuffs. I totally agree with you. Man City and Liverpool and Chelsea would not play like this in the second half because they've got a style of play. That's my whole point. We haven't got a style of play. We haven't got a style of play. We're a grafting team. We grafted to second place last year. We grafted to a final. Tell me I'm wrong. We played with a back six last year with McFred in front of a back four, and we grafted our way to games by winning 1-2-1. We won a lot of games by 1 goal last year. We haven't got a style of play that can win games a lot. And, you know, this shouldn't even be a draw. It shouldn't be a draw. The reason Ollie brought Varane on is that he doesn't think Delo is a right back, only for playing on the wing or in a back five, just like Donny only attends as crazy. I mean, if that's true, it's ridiculous. There's only one word to describe Ollie, and the word is a coward. He is a coward, says Bryce Jones. I'm Ollie in, but taking off Donny and playing a back five is awful tactics against a team like this. We should have brought Matic on for Fred and Varane on for Lindelof. Fred is looking awful, says Gabe. And join the army, Mark Ollie out, says Jay. I'm not joining that army yet. I'm not joining that army yet. But the coaching is poor. Really, really poor. He took Bruno and Ronaldo off now. I think we'll lose this game. I think he's just weakened this. I just think he's just weakened the team. You take Bruno and Ronaldo off. I mean, it just. Ole Gunnar Southgate, sorry, mate. Time to face the facts, says Sam. Imagine having Ronaldo, Bruno, Sancho, Varane, Fernandes, Pogba, Rashford, etc., and still dropping to Europa and still losing, says Jesh. Well, that's not going to happen just yet, is it? But we started with Van der Beek, Ronaldo, Bruno, Sancho on the pitch. With 20 minutes to go, they're all off. Talking about getting your best players on the pitch. So what was the reaction to 1-1? Park the bus a little bit more. So he takes Ronaldo and Bruno off to get Matic and Lingard on. Karaki, what should we do? They've got a goal. Park the bus a bit more, Ali, man. Park the bus a bit more. McKenna, have you got any more tricks up your sleeve? That's what I employed you for. I've told you before, I'm not Paul McKenna. I'm not a magician. I was from the youth setup. You can. Give us some tricks. Come on. When you're frustrated, a bit of banter always helps, I find. I'll tell you what, they're all over us at the moment. I'd have put Greenwood on, yeah. If you're going to take Ronaldo off, put Greenwood on. Subs, unbelievable. The match reaction is going to be fantastic. Actually, player ratings is probably available now. I'm terrified to start putting the link in the video description for that. Another shot there. He's moaning about something. Not a chance I'm watching the rest of this game with those substitutions. What do we even have up front now, says Liam. He wanted a corner. Rizzo, thanks for the super chat. Not a chance. I'm done. What is this man doing, says Reddy. And Champions League was nice while it lasted. Hope we get a decent draw in the Europa League, says Carrymore. Is Fred playing on a slip and slide turf? Boy can't stay on his feet. I don't know how he stayed on the pitch, Edwin. Again, it's this season. I don't know how he's played so many games. Looks like Ollie's clueless. Does he even want to win this game? Says David. And we will lose playing in this manner. No striker on the pitch. Awful subs yet again from Ollie. I'm Ollie in, but he's starting to make it difficult. I think, John, you've just hit the nail on the head for me. That's exactly how I feel. I can't, I can't be Ollie out when you've got players like Ronaldo and Varane and Bruno and Pogba and everything like that. But God, is he misusing them? Yes. I'm not saying I'm God. I was just reacting there. But yeah, it's very, very disappointing. You don't want your manager to disappoint you at the end of the day, and it's just massively, massively disappointing. From Ollie today. I'm just about to whack the link in the video description for the player ratings. You can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Another cross in there. I mean, you've got five defenders and nobody is attacking the ball. And De Gea, quite rightly here, storming across. There's one player there. And we're not cutting out the first ball. That's what De Gea is saying. That could easily have been an own goal from Varane. It's not blaming Varane, but he's saying, why are these crosses coming into my box? Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, match reactions coming up after this, and then the fan forum after that. I can only imagine the meltdown that's going to be going on in that when they get their chance to speak. But I'm just not shocked at all, to be honest with you. Praying for a draw versus Young Boys. What a joke, says Uncle Drew. Got to be Ollie out if you've got these quality players and don't know how to use them. Joke, says Daniel. Mate, I know what I'm saying in the match reaction. Let's get through the next 15 minutes. I know what I'm going to say, and I don't think it's going to change. Fred getting more chances than a Monopoly game, says Truly Balls HD. And formation is a shambles. Greenwood in form and doesn't starve. Lindelof starting. Ollie's out of his depth. Fred stinks. Why didn't Matic start instead, says Rua. Subs represent Ollie perfectly when backed into a corner. Don't learn, just double down. Our team will cover up Ollie's weaknesses, says Abhishek. We all want the best out of this group of players. Ronaldo for 2 years. I want him to succeed. I don't know if he can with Ollie and the coaches, says Gordon Murray. Ronaldo is the only man who can score in the last minute. Why in the fucking hell is he taking Ronaldo off, says Lucas. Imagine what Zidane could achieve with this squad. I've never been Ollie out, but I'm very close, says Jacob. Pogba's just gone down injured here. United have got a free kick, a chance to put a cross into the box. There's somebody on the pitch here. Knock him out. Knock him out. I mean, the thing is, when you have a result like this, you get very, very frustrated. I get that, but I just don't know why he's gone to a back five. And look, for those people who think it was a good idea to go to a back five, the idea might have been good, but it's not been executed well, has it? Tactically, it's been a bloody shambles. What's been the advantage of going to a back five? And now we've got a chance to put a cross into the box, and you haven't got Ronaldo in there. Oh, Lindelof, you should have hit that. I mean, apart from the potential penalty decision from Ronaldo, we've done nothing this half, have we? I'm just trying to think. What have we done in this half? Pitch invader was Donny trying to get more minutes, says Mason Reed. Best highlight of the game, that, mate. Well done. All these keyboard warriors going on about Ollie out should stop watching football. None of them are there day in, day out training, says Tommy. Well, I think they've got a right to be pissed off with some of the decisions today, mate. They pay their money. Daniel McGrath says, 5 at the back is ridiculous, drawing on the pressure. Fred should have been off for Greenwood in the right. Should be dominating with 10 men. No Mason, says, why no Mason, says Daniel McGrath. I'm going to watch Netflix. This game is awful, says DC. Ollie Skriniar's over the back 5 yet again, making countless dumb decisions. I'm seriously worried if what United is about, if you want Ollie out, says Julian S. And look at Fred trying to blind opponents. This is pure comedy, says Anors. Playing for a draw, what a joke, says Uncle Drew. Ronaldo looking pissed off on the side. I'd suggest, Ronnie, go and watch the game back. You probably can't see how frustrating it actually is to watch. It's total shite. Our manager is the biggest issue with our team, not a CDM. Why not keep Matic and Varane in the team to let them gel? Ollie the Tinkerman, like a chat in the free seat said, better players, same manager, says the Closet NYC. Was thinking of going sober for October, but screw that. Spent a lot on SCs now, mate. We need a Discord server, says Sam Ameson. We have got a Discord server. I'm sure one of the mods can find that. One of the mods is the Discord moderator, so we can definitely sort that out. We all hoped that these days were gone. Another break in the play here. Tactically inept, says Revy. Ollie will blame the turf, says Ronnie. No, what Ollie will do is he'll blame the red card. And, you know, everybody's got a right to their opinion. Of course they have. But that's a joke. As I said before, many teams. I've seen Mourinho go down to 10 men with Chelsea, 15 years ago. I think it was against Bolton and it was 0-0 and they beat them 4-0. Like, you don't lose. That's a weak, cowardly mentality that if you go down to 10 men, you've got to park the bus. In the modern game, you don't have to do that. Van der Beek can do what Fred has done. It will never go through Ollie's head that Van der Beek is useful. Sell the both and sign a proper CDM, says DJ. Must have a manager to put players in positions to win. 99 team doesn't win the treble without Fergie. Ollie showed his lack of tactics and spine today, says Stephen. Matches won by individual brilliance over matches won because of Ollie's tactics. All he does is put a load of long balls in the box. Absolutely poor, says Michael. And so if Ollie doesn't do training, he doesn't do tactics. The only thing he does do is decide who to play and still can't get that right. Ollie out, says Manchester G. I think the coaching's poor. I've said this before, and it needs to improve. But the coaching is Carrick. The coaching is McKenna. The coacher is Mike Phelan, who apparently doesn't coach. So, Ollie invited pressure, hands wide open, atrocious, says RK. So we've got about 10 minutes to go here. Fred wins a header. I mean, Pogba's been anonymous in this second half, hasn't he? Mark, realistically, what do you think is going to change this year with Ollie as our manager, says Leo? This reminds me of the Leicester 5-3 result, the whole club riding on a high and our bubble burst in a few minutes. It'll be a long season, says Carrymore. What do you think is going to change? I mean, look, to be honest, I've always been quite consistent. Absolutely poor in the second half, says Lewis. I think finishing outside the top 4 is impossible. I mean, we haven't played particularly well in this season already, but we've got 10 points from 12. So we'll finish in the top 4 comfortably. He won't get the sack, and I just think it will. I think the worst case scenario. I said this a couple of weeks ago. The worst case scenario is that we continue to play football like we have done today and last season, where we get results, but it's not good on the eye, and it's not good enough to win the major trophy. So you just keep being second, third, fourth, semi-finals, but you never. It's like England under Southgate. I don't think Southgate and Ollie are similar in playing style. But I think Southgate is wasting a golden generation of English talent that should have won the Euros and should be favourites for the World Cup, but they won't win either. And I think with with Ollie, the same thing's going on. I think we've got fantastic players, but we haven't got fantastic coaches. And I don't think he'll ever do enough like Southgate. He won't ever do enough to get the sack, but he won't ever do enough to win trophies. And that's what I hoped was going to change this season. But this is a sledgehammer to me personally, because I've just seen exactly everything that I saw last season. And I thought that we were going to see something different. And I think the Van der Beek thing is like, that's like a knife through the heart. That is, I can only imagine what the lad feels like, because I know how it feels as a fan. And forget about Van der Beek bias. He was actually playing very well, way better than Fred, and he gets taken off for Fred. It's that substitution is a massive up yours, At best, it's incompetent coaching. The reality is it's premeditated. He just doesn't rate him. Mark, why do you think Ronaldo got subbed? Stupid, says Stratos. And Bruno. I wouldn't take either of them off. How many of you guys honestly describe yourself as supporters? We've been a man down for an hour, just support your team. Well, that's an interesting thing. You're going to get a lot of shit for that. It's a draw in the first game of the Champions League. Grow some balls, Mark, please. Whinging, says Tiddley. Yeah, mate. Again, interesting. But I don't respect your opinion. Thanks for the super chat, but I don't respect it. I think you're a bit of an idiot, really. What are you saying? Grow some balls, whinging as usual. Well, you know what sort of fan you are? You're the sort of fan that didn't support the club when Sir Alex Ferguson was in charge, because absolutely no way am I ever going to sit down and take this win, lose or draw, just get behind the team bullshit. Sir Alex Ferguson demanded high standards. High standards at this football club. You're lowering the standards by saying this is acceptable. That's what you're doing. You're lowering the standards of this football club to a level that you're going to have to swim in for very many years if you think that this is acceptable today. This is absolutely bewildering coaching. That's what it is. It's not good enough. Why do people get guilty about calling out bad decisions? Like Martial's coming on for 4 minutes now. You don't have to be Ollie out. We played very well at the weekend, but I'm telling you, tonight has been a bloody shambles. This is the Champions League, not the Europa League. Why start Lindelof? Give him minutes in the League Cup next week. No back five needed if Varane is already on. Favoritism will lose him the job, says Matthew Bailey. And I wanted to buy a United shirt this year, but I find it hard to pay for a shirt of a United team that plays a back five. Hey, I tell you what, Daniel, the Glazers have already won. The Glazers aren't sacking anybody. They've made more money than they've ever made. Ollie as a counsellor only talks nice to players. We need a top-class manager after seeing this tonight. I'm Ollie out, says Cristiano. Well, I'm not Ollie out. I think that's a bit soon, but I do feel very disappointed tonight. Very disappointed. I think get the draw and get out. Shot over the bar there. I think it's gone for a corner, actually. No, it's not a corner. Oh, it's a save by De Gea, actually. It is a corner. Good save. Tipped it over the bar. Thanks, everyone who's tuned in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. It's going to be a very interesting season. I'd love to say it's been an interesting game, but that would be bullshit. It's been a very frustrating game. Don't normally get lots of time. Links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I can't wait to do the player ratings after this show. On the Match Reaction show. Links in the video description, or just go straight to the United Stand website. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. And yeah. Put a star next to your man of the match. Very hard, that, isn't it? I think some players are going to get very bad ratings. And I tell you what, Fred, fucking... should have happened about an hour ago. Fucking hell. Fred comes off at bloody last. It can happen. He hasn't got it in his contract. Get him off. Absolute shocking display. And to be honest with you, I feel sorry for Fred. You can't sub him. He's walking off. He's quite happy with himself. You can tell. He thinks he's had a good game. I put a shift in. I've done well. Mate, absolute shocking performance. How he stayed on the pitch. You can only blame the manager. You can only blame the manager for that. I don't understand what people are seeing in him, because that's the 4th game this season where he's been absolute shite. So we're nearly into the last minute now. Martial gets a bit of time. One minute to go. I don't know. I'm gathering my thoughts for the match reaction here, because I'm just, you know, you can have a bad game. Of course you can have a bad game. We'd be foolish to say that you can't have a bad game. You can have a bad game, and, you know, United have had a bad game, but I think this season is not about having, we're going to have bad games this season. MK says, you just said we don't have fantastic coaches. Why aren't you demanding that? It's a double standard to want to replace McFred, but not Ollie. Look, I will decide when I'm Ollie out. I will jump on people for that. Don't you live your life. You don't live my life. So don't tell me when I need to be Ollie out or not. I'm not Ollie out. And I'll tell you when I am. And I'm not Ollie out. I think that's way premature. I don't need to be at that level. But I understand why people are. And I do actually respect that. I think that's up to you. But I'm not Ollie out. And I don't need to write a book or give you an instruction as to when I will be. And hopefully I won't be. But what I'll also say is what I think as an individual, or what you think of as an individual on that actual point is somewhat irrelevant. Because you need to wake up to the fact that they will not sack him if he gets top 4. And it's impossible that team doesn't get top 4. So I will tell you now, I'd be very surprised if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not in charge of Manchester United next season. I would be absolutely surprised if he's not, if he isn't in charge, because I think he will be. And that's why I feel a bit crestfallen tonight, is because I just think that this is a step back to last season. This is Wagner, who got Huddersfield relegated, says Wuzzy. God only knows what Ronaldo is thinking, says Tyron. I don't think Ronaldo will think anything, though. I think Ronaldo will just think it's one of those days. He hasn't been watching United like we have, I don't think. So he will just think, oh, it's just one of those days, whatever. Ollie's afraid and still can't manage subs, says Jawa. We've had bad games all season and last, says Mark Dobby. Do these subs even make sense, says Gordon Murray. Mate, it's a mishmash out there at the moment. I think Lingard has hardly touched the ball. Why are we bringing in Martial on and taking off Fred? Attacking sub in the 89th minute. What is Ollie playing at, says Rory. We are Man United. We cannot have all these great players with a below-average coaching staff. All coaches out, says Brian Spence. Thanks to Boohoo Man, by the way, for sponsoring the show. 40% off with the code United Stand. Get your active wear range, which I'm wearing at the moment. Big shout out to Boohoo Man for that. 40% off with the code United Stand on checkout. Get yourself some fitness stuff through Boohoo Man Active. I wish United had been a bit more active. And also, link in the video description for the player ratings. I think it's in there on the second paragraph. It is. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We're going to do that on the match reaction. And we'll go through that in a moment, of course. And we've also got the fan forum coming up at 8 o'clock. So lots to get involved in. Ollie is the problem. Ollie is the problem, says Abby. Oh, I tell you what, it's been a really poor performance from Manchester United, hasn't it? Really, really poor. And it's not always easy when you're down to 10 men anyway, but I think we've been the contributors to our own downfall. We have turned into Arsenal, being content with top 4, says Ravitz. Cross comes in, that'll be all right. United will get rid of that. It's a fantastic point for young boys, though. It really is like a win for them. Don't think that it's not, because it is. It's like a win. A minute to go. Tell you what, I can't believe it's only 7:30. That's the problem with an early kickoff. You just want to go to bed. You feel tired. Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho were actual managers. They just inherited bad teams. Ollie's not a proper manager and has the best team. He's the problem, says Guy Evans. If he's onside, they've won it. If he's onside, they've won it. Oh, my God. Bleach my eyes. What the fuck has happened here? Manchester United have lost it 2-1 at the end. This is not good, Ollie. This is a bloody joke. All I see is a young boy running through and he scores. And it's 2-1 to them. Manchester United in the last few seconds. What is going on here? You don't know whether to laugh or cry. It's an embarrassment. It's an absolute embarrassment. I don't know what's gone on. I don't know what's gone on here. He's got to be off. It's a back pass. It's Lingard. Oh, for fuck's sake, Jesse. What has he just done? What has he done? He's bloody passed him in. Oh, for fuck's sake, Lingard. Oh, my God. Bloody hell. Fucking God. I don't know. I just don't know what to say. I do not know what to say. You got to feel for Jesse, but he shouldn't be at the fucking club, should he? Let's be honest. He shouldn't be on the pitch. That is a bloody embarrassment. And that's on the manager. That's on the coaches. You 1-0 up and you try and defend it against a team like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely disgraceful. Fucking shite. Absolute shite. That is, you know what? I applaud young boys if I could be asked. I would. They deserve that. They were the only team trying to win the game. And in football, we're Manchester United. Our principles are to try and win the game, to be risk takers. Only one team tried to win the game for 45 minutes, and that was them. Like they deserve to win the game, 100%. They deserve to win the game because they tried to win the game. That is an absolute shambolic performance from Manchester United. It's an embarrassment. It's another new low. It's fucking useless. I just don't even know. Why is Lingard even passing it back to his goalkeeper in that situation? Why is Lingard even playing as a centre midfielder? He's playing next to Pogba as a bloody centre midfielder. This is what happens when you make ridiculous substitutions. Like, why is Lindelof playing in the why is Lingard playing in the midfield? Why are these substitutions? What's this mess going on? Lingard has ended up playing in the same position that Van der Beek was substituted from. It's just, it's fuzzy thinking. It's painting by numbers. It's dot to dot. It's crap. I don't care what anybody says. No United fan can sit there tonight and say that that's not on the coaching. It's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles. That second half is not good enough. And this mates rates bullshit needs to stop in this football club, in the media, in the ex-player fraternity, in the fan base. That is not acceptable. It doesn't matter what your hopes and dreams are. It doesn't matter what you think. That is unacceptable. From Manchester United tonight, that is unacceptable. And it starts and ends with the coaching. The substitutions were an absolute mess. I understood that film Tenet more than understood them substitutions, and I don't fucking understand Tenet. So I don't know what went on today. Madness. Absolute madness. Ridiculous. Disgraceful. Embarrassing. You know, Arsenal are laughing at us, and they can't even get into Europe. They've got no passport. They're laughing at us tonight, and they're not even playing in Europe. That is a joke, an absolute joke. Look, we're going straight over to the match reaction. We're going to do player ratings. The link's in the video description for that. Do not miss this match reaction because it's going to be epic. Match reaction coming up now. It'll push you over there. I'll be live in there in a minute. And also you can do your player ratings through the link in the video description of that video. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star on it. I'll see you in a minute.